Oh yes, oh yes. You guys make such a good mood here. I really love it. Keep it up. Happy to have you here. I think it's called Let Me Know.
The sun has set in the Iron City. We are now in the dark, ready. The temperature on track is about to hit max.
Strap in, buckle up.
I'm on a 10, I'm on a 10, I'm on a level 10. I wanna win, and I wanna win again. You thought it was done? I'm hoping it never ends. If you wanna run, then I'm on a level 10.
Well, here we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 6 of Drift Masters 2026, and you are joining us live from Ferropolis in Germany, the Iron City, Drift Island, as we like to call it. My name is Ian Waddington. I'm joined by my very good friend, Jacob Gettins. Jacob Gettins, top 32 was hot. Yeah. It was hot and heavy.
It was very hot and heavy.
It certainly was. The temperature on track reached maximum, but now the sun has set in Germany. The set is seen, and we are ready to do battle in top 16.
If you couldn't tell the tension in our voices, it is because this is one of the biggest top 16s we've ever seen in the history of the sport. It's never been this tense at this point in time in the season, and all of it is to set up our next round. But a lot can go on right now, tonight, here in Ferropolis.
It certainly can, because under the lights tonight we're going to create a story where we head to the final round of Drift Masters in 2026 at the Pégay Narodowway, and that is where we've been, this is where we are, and that is where we're heading. Round 7, September the 11th and 12th, we go to Warsaw, to Poland, to the Red Bull Drift Masters finale under the lights inside that stadium with 55,000 people, where we will crown our 2026 Drift Masters champion. But who will it be? Because the top 5 contenders for that championship are still in it. They can still do it. They're all in the mix. But tonight we will lose or change that championship as we move throughout our top 16. Look, when we went to Riga, it was unbelievable.
And here we go. These are your contenders. Paweł Korpelinski currently sitting on top, and this is the first of many steps towards the top of that championship. Next up, Piotr Vincek. I mean, making some tidy work already early on, and he looks absolutely unstoppable.
He certainly was. As I was going to say, we went to Riga, we almost changed the championship, but Paweł Korpelinski prevailed and made his way through in competition. James Dean was doing the same right there against Clip Van Ott. Paweł Korpelinski got himself into the fight, but so did Connor Shanahan. He did what everyone thought was unthinkable at this point of competition, in this point of the season, and that's come back from such a heartbreak in the middle of this championship.
Yeah, and alongside him is his brother Jack, who is still fighting his way through, mathematically still in contention, can play disruptor, can just change the entire outlook of this entire season here tonight.
It certainly can. Well, this is a top 16 we have coming up this evening for you here in Germany. That first battle is a big one. Paweł Korpelinski versus Connor Shanahan for a spot in the Great 8. This is what we're talking about. Korpelinski claimed more in Riga, but Shanahan now in Germany is fighting back. The man that won this event last year here in Germany could do more damage.
Yeah, it's a massive night, and you have to remember, I mean, Jack Shanahan, Jakob Kroll looks fantastic, James Dean, Jason Benet. Benet has been as fast as he's ever been. Piotr Vincek, Mika Keski-Korpi. Mika, we keep saying it, one practice and has easily hit a stride we've never seen before.
Yeah, certainly so. Mika Keski-Korpi, as we said, one practice on Thursday, and he's looked unstoppable so far. He's on form. Can he take down a very on form Peter Viensek this evening here in Poland? Well, it's going to be a very tough evening. All of these drivers can feel the tension. Every single driver is ready. Some are relaxed, some are feeling the pressure. And for me, Pavel Korpelinski looks like he has the weight of the world on his shoulders this evening.
Yeah, he seemed a little twitchy, seemed a little nervous. Couple interviews going on, and you could just kind of tell that pressure is, it's starting to get there. You can look at that is a man that's tense.
It certainly is tense, yeah. He's trying to shake it out, and you can see the fans in and around the grandstands. And there's Conor Shanahan.
That man is not tense.
No pressure.
No.
He's done this before twice, remember. Conor Shanahan, your defending champion, now sits in a place where he probably thought it wasn't feasible in Finland when he knocked himself out of competition. A very injured Jack Shanahan there. He, if you haven't heard, he has injured his ankle. Still fighting through, still trying to keep that championship alive. And this man also as well, still trying to hunt down that elusive God knows how many number championship. But there we go. We're going to take a look at the championship points after qualification. And this is how it was standing earlier on today. Pavel Korpelinski, 382 points. Don't forget, at the end of this evening, we'll have a revised championship standing with all of the points added up over the weekend. James Dean, like we said, he's in the fight. He's not far behind Peter or Pavel Korpelinski.
No, not at all. Conor Shanahan's still in there, and so is Jack. And we will do our absolute best to keep you up to date on how this all rolls out and what each battle means for the wider championship implication. But yeah, just an incredible, incredible night.
Yeah, well, this is a special track and a special place, and it has crowned almost some champions in the past. But talking to us about that track is the one and only James Dean.
What's up, everyone? James Dean here. Now we're at round 6 of the championship. First night round of the season. Let's take a closer look at the track. So we get to the most challenging part of this track, Zone 2. If you come in here with too much speed, miss your braking point, you're crashing straight into the wall before Zone 3. And if you brake too soon, you're going to miss Zone 3. So this is definitely a crucial part. Coming from Zone 4, transitioning into this Zone 5, it's pretty poorly lit at night time, very challenging to see your proximity to the wall. You have a small detail coming into it, but you want to make sure you get back on the power immediately. Fill this wall, run it from start to finish, and finish off strong before the next transition. Coming off Zone 5, we move on to the most difficult transition into Zone 6, especially in the chase position, because there's a huge cloud of smoke you're trying to see through. You need to pop through the smoke, hopefully land on your competitor's door, and push hard through 7, 8, and across the line. So that's it for our track preview here at Ferropolis. Now let's get to the main action.
Well, yeah, it is almost time for the main action, but a few more bits to get into first, James Dean, before we let you out on track. Look, for you, Jacob, it was all about that inside Zone 1.
Yeah, that's the big part. If you go too far inside, too far towards that cone to the right, you're going to lose a lot of points. So you want to stay in kind of in the middle of that. That's where the judges are really, really suggesting that you hit.
Yeah, and for me, it was all about Zone 5. An incredibly long outside zone. It was all about the entry into outside Zone 5. We see Jack Shanahan taking it to the wall yesterday. One miscalculation, you're either getting it too late or you're hitting the wall. But look, it looks spectacular now. We have pyro on that wall. But what's it like to drift to this track in the dark?
Nighttime driving here in Ferropolis is a big challenge.
Once the competition is going to start, the conditions will change a lot.
The biggest challenge is going from a very bright track in qualifying and top 32 here to the top 16 where it's complete darkness.
It looks cool from the outside and in all the cameras, but from the driver's point of view, you can't see far ahead.
You might use one visual marker during the day, and then at night that visual marker you can't see anymore.
It's definitely challenging. It's harder to see where the zones are beginning and ending.
As far as I can remember, every zone has lights on the zone, but the only part that's really hard is trying to see where the lead car is in front of you.
You're using a lot more of different feelings with the car instead of just using your eyesight of where exactly you need to go.
I think a lot of them struggle to remember the line correctly, and then it all comes down to muscle memory.
You definitely need to trust your own instincts. You're really going off what you've learned in practice.
I know some of the drivers will drive with sunglasses. but it isn't easy.
Thanks to those glasses, the contrast should be better, let's say, so you should be a bit more aware where are you and where are the objects around you.
You might also see drivers changing the way that their headlights are, direct their headlights out on angles, because when they get to angle, now that headlight is actually going forward.
And we need to think about it that the fire might come up right beside us when we are going sideways.
For us, the Drift Masters, to throw in pyrotechnics, fireworks, illumination, it just makes for a better show, and I'm here for it.
Of course, it will be a really nice show for the spectators. I really enjoy this night round.
Well, there we go. That is what it's like to drift in the dark, and there's not a lot of time to wait around and see what it's like to send these guys around here, because, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Top 16. Well, here we go. We've talked about this one plenty today. We've thought about this one over the course of the championship, and now it's time to play it out in real time, because Pavel Korpolinski has been asked by our #1 qualifier, defending champion, to lead first in the first battle of Top 16. This, ladies and gentlemen, is huge for the championship. If Pavel Korpolinski loses right now, he loses a whole bunch of points to Connor Shanahan, who is hunting down that third championship. Connor Shanahan knows that if he doesn't beat Pavel Korpolinski right now, the championship for 2026 is over. This means everything to two men who want it so bad. The light goes green and they're off and through the gears, and it's the Polishman Pavel Korpolinski who leads out Connor Shanahan, but Shanahan's on the back bumper of that 2 JCS14 already. There's a little scrappy outside zone 2 for Korpolinski. He feels the pressure of Connor Shanahan breathing down his neck as they fire into outside zone 5. Shanahan on the rear wheel, the pyro illuminates the wall as Korpolinski fulfills all of that outside zone, but Connor Shanahan won't be shaken as he puts it back onto the door of Pavel Korpolinski and looks for the final outside zone across the line.
It was always going to be this way. It was always going to go like this. We knew, even with the break, even with the long downtime, the changing track conditions, having to just get your mind right in all that break, they would still come out and battle like absolute warriors. Both drivers throwing down insane runs to do this. It's such a difficult thing to come back out on a track that you haven't driven on since the day before in conditions like this, and then be able to throw down runs that both of them have just shown us here. Incredible. Pavel Korpolinski looks great out front. The car looks smooth, the transitions are good, and Connor Shanahan is just all over him. He is mobbing him, he is aggressive. Look at that proximity we get coming through 5 with the flames bursting in the background. Pavel Korpolinski has a phenomenal lead line again, and Connor Shanahan's doing exactly what he is known to do, and that is just smother a lead driver while he's in the chase.
Yeah, he certainly is. Look, I think for me, Connor Shanahan's won this championship twice.
Yeah.
Pavel Korpolinski's yet to win his first ever Drift Masters Championship, and he's on the cusp of it. He's holding on right now with 2 fingers, hoping that he can keep a hold of it as we head to Poland. But Connor Shanahan is asking Pavel Korpolinski the question, have you got what it takes to be a champion of Drift Masters?
This is big. This is big. The 10th battle between them, starting all the way back in 2019. I won't tell you who's taking the lead, because I don't want to put too much out there, but right now, Connor Shanahan will take the lead in this battle, and we'll see what Pavel's chase game looks like.
Yeah, well, there we go. They get the thumbs up. We wait for that green light as Pavel Korpolinski starts to creep off the line. You know Shanahan's fast. That first place qualifier yesterday, last night, under the lights, as Shanahan fires in. Pavel Korpolinski mirrors him and jumps on the front wheel, and it's contact. Pavel Korpolinski makes contact with the front of Shanahan's car, but they stay in it. Korpolinski disposes of the front bumper under the front wheels as Shanahan now glues the back end of that GTA 6 to the wall around outside zone 5. It's back again, and Korpolinski's even closer as Korpolinski, the Polishman, wants to get onto the door. Shanahan leads him to the wall over the line.
What will that mistake mean? Was it a mistake from the lead slowing down too much? Was it a mistake from the chase getting too aggressive? Did Connor light off at the right time? Did Powell just get too aggressive? Did the nerves get to one of these drivers? This already, I can tell you, is going to be a discussion for a very, very long time with how tight that this competition is. Connor Shanahan looks great. Pavel Korpolinski already to the inside as Connor Shanahan adds more angle coming around to 3. And I think no matter what happens in this battle, we are going to need a judge to have a conversation with us so we can have clarity, because the implications of what is about to be decided for these judges is monumental. It's life-changing for both of these drivers.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Wow.
Yeah, you can see what he did there to Connor Conor Shanahan ripped the wheel out of the hands of that young man. And yeah, we will get clarification from our judges for this, because as you say, Jacob, this is not only huge for the championship, but it's huge for both of these drivers and their fans. And I think everyone will want to know exactly what the judges are thinking. I spoke about it earlier on, and we went to David Kalas about outside zone 3, and I said to him, like, look, we're going to see this, and he was like, well, hopefully not.
Yeah.
I mean, the first battle in top 16, we're going to see it, and that's because these guys are pushing so hard.
They are there, and you can't leave anything
on the table.
No,
Yeah,
you can't. You have to push hard. You know, when you're chasing down Conor Shanahan, he's going to throw a big rundown. So Pavel Kropolinski is just taking every advantage that he could, because you cannot let up at any point in time. The judges still looking through replays. They're still discussing this as two of the most nervous people in the world right now stand on track waiting for a decision.
Yeah, we see a lot of Irish drift fans around the property here in Germany, and some look at the amount of media down there, because this is big for the championship, and they want that reaction. This could go one way or another. This could mean everything for Shanahan. This could mean that the championship is over. Oh, it's one vote for Shanahan. It's a one more time. It's going to be Conor Shanahan. Conor Shanahan gets the win and advances through to the top 8. Pavel Kropolinski is out of competition. We're going to have to come to our judges to make sure that that decision is not only correct, but we need to get some clarification. So David Kalas, we need to come to you. There's a little bit of discussion between the judges there. David Kalas, we're going to come to you. Not only do we need to get clarification that that decision is correct, but we also need to get some word on that contact at outside zone 3.
Yeah, I need to confirm that the decision was correct. I don't know what happened with the system, but it was one more time from my side, and Conor from Tarmo and from Ras. Everything comes to this contact. From my side, the angle adjustment of the Conor was a little bit weird, and I said that, okay, this is unsettling the leader, that's why there was a contact. But Tarmo and Ras were saying that that angle adjustment happened because of the contact. There was nothing wrong happening in before, so that's why I went for Conor. Anyways, we need to say that lead run of Conor was better than Pavel's, and then it is decided based on those mistakes on the chase run.
Thank you very much, David Kalas. Well, there we go. Got it straight from our head judge's mouth, David Kalas. We have Tormo, Levi Maggie, and Rasmo Rios in the judging tower again. Becky's down there on track with Pavel Kropolinski. Becky, let us know how he's feeling.
Pavel, a hard-fought battle, but this is not the way you wanted your evening to go.
Definitely not. No. So it didn't go our way. I thought I did everything I could. Looking at the replay now, I think that I went on throttle earlier than Conor did, although we were out of the diesel zone already. So I don't know. I need to analyze the run to be sure exactly what happened.
Was there anything from your point of view that you think that you could have done better there?
Yeah, I could have not caused the contact. I could have braked for a little bit longer, maybe. It's hard to say being here and now. I need to rewatch the run, and then I will try to analyze it, and of course try to avoid same mistakes in the next final round.
Okay, Pavel, thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Becky. Yeah, look, a bit of a grimace, maybe a little bit of confusion on his face with the decision. Look, at the end of the day, Pavel Kropolinski would always want that to go his way and keep that championship hope alive. But for Conor Shanahan, it is, and it does stay alive, as we see Kropolinski take himself off. And yeah, I mean, a tough one, Jacob. I think there's going to be 1,000,001 people split across the whole globe on how that decision is. But hey, at the end of the day, we aren't the judges. We have a dedicated judging panel, and that is their job. We go back to the line to the next battle. Diogo Correa to take on a very on-form Kevin Passeur. But Kevin Passeur looked a little shaky
Yeah, definitely looked a little bit shaky. I mean, the top 32 probably didn't go exactly how he was hoping it would. He's, obviously moved on as now he's swapping over to the clear lenses.
Yeah, him and Diogo Correa in that break. We had a 4-hour break between our top 32 and top 16. A lot of guys switching out the visor to the clear one. Well, here we go. Correa from Portugal fires in that Mercedes-powered BMW and gets himself deep on outside zone 2. And you can see Passer already applying the pressure. The Estonian hungry again for a taste of the podium as he puts that car in and on the pocket as they both go onto the wall. The pyro, the headlights. This is an absolute scene right now as Kevin Passer puts that car right where it needs to be. But the lead run from Diogo Correa is phenomenal.
Yeah, Correa is absolutely on it. Very smooth. Great to see him, making it up, pushing his way up through competition right now. Look great in practice, look great in qualifying, and just continue that on. Well, Kevin Passer, as aggressive as he's always been, but now starting to get a little bit more calculated, realizing that some of the over-aggression, those mistakes of the past, cannot continue. And he has to hold himself back there. You can see through that zone, like he really wanted it. He was pushing. He does just catch a little bit of Correa. Thankfully, backside of it doesn't look like it affects too much on Diego's end. And you can really tell he's holding that car back and just he wants to dive. He wants to fight and just reorganize the logos on the side of Diego Correa's door.
Yeah, funny enough, just taking a look there, Correa qualifying 8th, Passer qualifying 9th. So two very similar driving styles, two very similar qualifying scores. Correa, though, for me, really, really nice lead line out front, especially now in the dark under the lights, and driver saying how difficult that is. Don't forget, we take what James Dean said earlier on, the track now starts to come back to the drivers. You was talking about it earlier on and yesterday, saying how the sunlight here in Germany makes the track a little greasy. Yeah. The sun goes down and we go under the lights, it actually tacks up the track a little bit, makes it grippier.
Yeah, it really does. The rubber's not as slick as what we get when it's in direct sunlight. I mean, it is still quite warm tonight. I don't expect this grip to drop off. If anything, it is probably just going to continue to build, and these runs are just going to get faster and faster.
Well, here we go. They're back on the line, ready to rock and roll. The Estonian Kevin Passer now to lead out Diogo Correa from Portugal. As those guys get ready to see that green light, and it is illuminated, and Kevin Passer comes off the line and through the gears, and it's a big drag race down to that initiation. And Diogo Correa caught a little unaware there, now has to play catch-up with the side of the Estonian's BMW, as Correa will make a dive for the smoke outside zone 5. Can he find the side of that BMW? And he doesn't look like he will do. He shallows up the angle. Passer puts it on big angle on the transition, now works his way into the 2 final outside zones. Correa finds the rear wheel off the BMW and across the line.
I thought Correa binned it in 5. It looked real sketchy when he came to that section, and a lot of this is just trying to play catch up with Kevin Passer, who's so fast. Correa really needed to jump that light. Yeah, you had to just been side by side with him right up until initiation. Then you have to fall back, make sure the front bumper is not exceeding that rear wheel, as per the judges in the meeting this morning. But unfortunately for Correa, just didn't time the launch right, and then from there on out, it is just playing catch up. Kevin Passer out front looks good. Kind of a long left foot brake, a long drag there. So he's going to have to keep an eye on that as the night continues if he does make it through this battle. But yeah, outside of that, Passer is just fast. Correa unfortunately got caught out way early in the run. Yeah. And it took until the last sector before he even cleared the ground.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of shortcutting on the track. You can see there from the drone, and we say the drone never lies, and you can see Diogo Correa taking that inner line, trying to keep up with Kevin Passer. Passer, though, again, looks like he's on rails after a shaky start to the weekend.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it just wasn't... Going one more time in top 32 is never fun.
No, exactly that. Well, here we go. Slide him left for Passer, right for Correa. It's going to be Kevin Passer from Estonia getting the win, advancing through. And even Diogo Correa knew it. He knew the chase wasn't there, and he'd let himself slip a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But Passer, I mean, he's going to have to clean up a few things, especially going up against Connor Shanahan as we start to move on to our next set of battles.
Yeah, we certainly do. And up next is another Shanahan. It will be Jack Shanahan to take on Jakob Kroll. Jakob Kroll getting a bye run into the top 16. Unfortunately, losing Kevin Pascolti in competition earlier on today with a failed engine. And Jack Shanahan getting it done against Connor Falvey, taking him out of the championship race earlier on today. But now Shanahan has a very on-form Jakob Kroll, man that loves these walled arenas.
Very, very good lead driver when it comes to this tight technical section, as we've known, we've seen in Poland and Finland. So we'll see how it plays out now for Jack Shanahan in the chase.
Yeah, look at this, Jack Shanahan, look at that, launching that car and then on the left foot brake, trying to make sure he stays on the rear bumper of Jakob Kroll as they go down into outside zone 2. Look at that, Shanahan mirrored the angle, mirrored the line, and now Jakob Kroll puts that car right to the edge of the circuit, and that opens the door for Jack Shanahan to tuck up on the inside, and he does. He takes the advantage, puts that GTA 6 right up to the side of Jakob Kroll as they flick back for outside zone 6. Jack Shanahan is absolutely on a mission this weekend. The man that was on the podium in 2025 wants another one as he drags him across the line.
Well done from Jack. Just similar, you know, you can tell he wants to be an aggressive chase driver constantly, and he's done amazing things to start to quell and reserve himself just a bit for drivers that maybe don't have the same pace. Jakob Kroll, I don't know if that was a fail to initiate. We caught the onboard pretty early on, and you could already tell that Kroll was not getting the car out to angle. Jack did an amazing job of adapting to what was going on. Once Kroll was sideways, he did an amazing job out front. Fills all the zones, very smooth. Maybe not to the same pace that Jack was looking for, though.
No. We know Jack Shanahan would have had that car turned up now, especially as the track starts to evolve, as we mentioned before, and starting to come back to the drivers now under the lights here in Germany. Kroll, again, we talk about it quite a lot. Phenomenal lead driver, loves these smaller technical tracks, and it's kind of where he's cut his teeth in Poland, and he did a phenomenal job out front. And the downside to that is you encourage Jack Shanahan to trust you and put the wheel on the door.
Yeah, it's the best and worst thing about laying down a solid lead run is it's a good chance that the driver behind you is going to be all over you.
Yeah, so there we go.
I'm going to send an invoice, Marcin.
Yeah, Marcin down there, our start line marshal donning the shirt now for top 16 battles as we wait to see Shanahan pull into that lead position. Jakob Kroll ready to rock and roll that carbon Kevlar S14.9, looking a little bit battered and bruised, but no point repairing it now before we head to the final round in Poland, where yet again these guys will meet more walls.
Jack Shanahan pulling to the line finally, using all 2 minutes that they get when they come back across the line at final of the run to make sure the cars cool down. Those cars do run a little bit hot, and we've seen this time and time again out of them, especially here.
Yeah.
Remember last year, it was
not a lot of airflow.
Yeah, and it's, as we said, coming back afterwards, you don't have a lot of time to cool the car off.
No, certainly not. Well, here we go. The light goes green. Shanahan now to lead out Jakob Kroll from Poland. The spot in the top 8 and waits for one of these guys. And look at this from Shanahan. Flicks that car straight to initiation, down into outside zone 2. And that opens the door now for Jakob Kroll. He's trying to get himself into this battle. Jakob Kroll on the foot brake, balancing that car, looking for Shanahan to position that GTA 6 in outside zone 5. And Shanahan's deep into it as he flicks that car to 6. Now Jakob Kroll makes a dive and looks for the side. Lunging onto the front wheel goes Jakob Kroll as they get pushed to the wall and across the line.
Really like how Jakob Kroll just did not give up at any point. Amazing proximity out of him. One of the best chase runs we've seen out of him in a long time. And Jack really did lay down a phenomenal lead that gave Jakob Kroll the opportunity to do that. Jack gets that car out to angle so early. Look at how early he gets that car kicked out. Big clutch kick. As soon as that car meets the power band, it is just off and away. Jack on a great lead run there. You know, I wouldn't say a massive amount of angle, but very predictable. Allows Jakob Kroll to start to hunt him down. Jack, as soon as he releases the brake, the car slingshots out into 5, plants it really well, has to drag a little bit. I think there's probably a little more grip down than maybe he expected, and but he does a great job. You can see the red line, the dash just banging off the top because Jack Shanahan enjoys keeping that right foot to the floor.
Yeah, he certainly does. You can just see him there, the line in outside zone 5. Took him a while to find the wall in outside zone 5. It was almost halfway through before Shanahan got all the way out there, but nevertheless, nice clean lead run and encouraging Jakob Kroll to get on the door. Here we go, side of left for Shanahan, right for Shanahan, left for Jakob Kroll. It's going to be Shanahan, and look what it means to Jack Shanahan. Another driver keeping that championship hope alive.
Yeah, he is still in there right now. He's still in the fight as we continue to do this. I believe he has to make it to the semis to have a shot. So he's got to keep this pace going. And right now, it's a real good shot if he keeps driving the way he does.
Yeah, certainly so. And we're going to go back on the line to see who Jack Shanahan will face off in the top 8. I suppose for these guys now pull up to the line, it will be Nicolas Bertans to take on Alan Hines, and Bertans, the higher qualifier, opting to lead first. So Bertans on the line, Alan Hines from Ireland in that S15, that carbon fiber S15, ready to take down the V8-powered carbon Kevlar BMW E92.
Do either one of them change what they've been doing? Does Nick Nack take some grip out and make it a little bit slower, or does Alan add some grip in and make it a little faster, or do they stalemate? Neither changes anything.
I don't know.
I know.
Because I don't know what the track is like compared from earlier to now.
That's tacky, that's for sure.
There we go. Alan Hines creeping, waits for that green light, and there we go. Bertans through the gears in that V8 as it screams. And look at that. Wow. Alan Hines, that flick already down to initiation, but he's way on the inside. And we see that not working for somebody else earlier on. What the judges take on that one? I hear a grumble in the background, but the transition was unbelievable. Alan Hines really bringing the fight to the young Latvian as Bertans now flicks that car to outside zone 6. There's no shaking. Alan Hines in the last two outside zones as Hines goes to the door and across the line.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I love how aggressive Alan Hines got, and Nick Nack still out in the lead, looked very smooth. The initiation's the one part we didn't get to see from the outside. Nick Nack gets it done early. Alan does an amazing job of adapting. Unfortunately, can't float the car all the way out, so we'll have to really see. I don't know how inside Nick Nack was. Yeah, he does phenomenal work of getting the car pulled back. It's a tough spot to be in when you get caught on the inside, especially when you're forward. But Alan woes the car up, really slows things down, and just falls back into place. It's an incredibly difficult thing to do, but is probably the best way, to make lemonade out of that situation. Nick Nack, though, he's quick. He's just really quick, but Alan at no point gets gapped.
No, he doesn't get gapped, and I wonder. I mean, look, everybody knows that Nicholas Bertens is fast.
Yeah.
They know that car is extremely quick, super lightweight, runs an incredible amount of grip, and like you said, did he grip the car up? Did he just leave the setup as it was and pedal the car, as the drivers like to say?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I love both of their runs on this. I mean, as much as Alan Hines made a mistake, he corrected it in an incredible way.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the judges feel about that when we go to the decision. Here we go. Light goes green. Bertan's already creeping on Alan Hines as he fires that X15 to angle and down onto the walls. The 2JT now screams, and look at that. Bertan's onto the door already as he starts to push Alan Hines around Ferropolis. Hines goes for the transition. Almost over-rotates. Was there contact there on the transition? We'll be taking a look back at that, that's for sure, as Hines now tries to fall back on that qualifying line. Nicholas Bertans gives him the room to maneuver, doesn't push too hard and gets it across the line.
That is going to be the big question there. Was there contact? Because if Alan...
There was a bunch of smoke.
There was a bunch of smoke. If Alan got held up before the transition, he could have over-rotated quicker, or if Nick Nack punted him from the rear, that may also have created that type of situation. So I'm going to run you through this while my colleague here decides to analyze it with the judges. Nick Nack, super aggressive already. And let's take a look here with Alan and Nicholas Bertans. Something happened. It's just really tough to tell because of the amount of smoke. What do you got?
I think this is going to be a Pushkonski situation again.
Okay.
Jarko, Euler, Pushkonski.
Okay.
I think from what I can see, and my opinion means zero, as we know, because I'm not a judge.
Possibly less than zero.
I'm an armchair judge, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Kind of know what's going on, giving our own opinion. I feel that Nicholas Bertans, contact on the back bumper. When you see it from a different camera angle, we're going to give you that camera angle, hopefully. You will see what it done to Alan Hines' car on that transition. Alan Hines had to jump on the foot brake, and you physically see the car stall on transition.
Yeah, and then when he's getting back on, the car's already floated around. So it's Nick Nack getting real aggressive. And the judges have found a phenomenal camera angle to really highlight this.
Yeah, they have. They have. I mean, look, they have all the tools in the locker thanks to our incredible Red Bull production here. And there's a lot of deliberation going on. And this is the judges' camera angle. So we're going to see exactly what it's in. Now, watch this, Jacob, from this angle. Watch this. On the brake, boom, upsets the car straight away. And I think what it does is, I think it lifts the back of Alan Hines' S15 up ever so slightly. Look at that arch gap created. It loses grip. and then when he doesn't have that grip, he doesn't get to the outside zone. That is my theory. I could be very wrong.
Yeah, there's one other angle too where you see Knick-Knack's front bumper kind of shake right as the transition happens, and it does in a way that kind of leads me to believe that there was that contact made. So it's one of those weird situations, but you know, a bit of a precedent already set earlier on today.
I mean, and then this is the thing, contact will be, you know, a huge part to play in some of these battles, especially of how close these guys are driving in such a tight arena where the transitions, you know, they're so close together.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to transition that quick. You know, there's not a ton of transitions in this track, but judges still taking a look at it.
Yeah, well, I can see judges putting some scores into the system, and we might have a decision in a few seconds' time, and it'll jump up onto your screen, and we'll see who's going through to the top 8 to battle Jack Shanahan. And here we go, slide him left for Bertans, right for Alan Hines. It's going to be Nicolas Bertans. Nicolas Bertans gets the win. A shake of the head from Alan Hines, and you can see there a bit of confrontation between Alan Hines and Nicolas Bertans. We're going to have to come to you, David Kalaska, as you can see already on screen. These two guys arguing about the decision. Your take on it, David?
Yeah, sometimes from inside of the car it looks a little bit different. You're doing your best, and we completely agree that all those drivers are doing their best. But during the briefing we said that we don't want to see any angling up before the transition itself, and also we don't want to like to see any braking during the transition. And what we can see on Alan's run, he ends up a little bit of the angle before the transition, and as he's transitioning we can see immediately the brake lights, and then there is the contact with Nicolas. So that's why we called the hit on Alan. It was not easy decision. We needed to go through it many times, but we believe that the mistake was on Alan's side.
Thank you very much, David. There we go. I mean, look, see,
I get it.
I mean,
it's not. We're not denying the contact. It's just that Alan was doing things that were specifically requested not to do
in the driver's briefing. Well, there we go. That means that Nicolas Bertans will head through into that top 8 to face off against Jack Shanahan, and we move it along to the next half of our bracket. Well, it's going to be Jason Benet to take on James Dean, and James Dean asking Jason Benet to lead first.
Yeah, opting for that chase position again. Worked well for him in top 32, so why not give it another shot? And Benet making sure that the seat is fully intact.
Yeah, well, there we go. There is the man himself. But before we send him off the line, let's hear from James Dean.
Yeah, I definitely feel ready for this weekend. You know, like so many events this year, I feel like this could be the one where we win. But I'm feeling in a very positive mindset. I'm excited to drive and take some chances. We got like 2 rounds left in the championship, so it really is time to take all the risk, push the limits, and try to get that Ford Racing Mustang RTR on top of the box. That is the goal.
Well, it looks like a solid plan so far. He just needs to get himself through the Frenchman, Jason Benet, and he's asked him the question, you lead first. You see on the line, the light goes green. It's going to be Benet to lead out the machine. James Dean in that Ford Mustang RTR. The V8 screens, a 2JZ underneath the bonnet. The Benet Subaru BRZ absolutely howls, and James Dean there checks up a little bit outside zone 2. And now Jason Benet starts to turn the screw and work himself in to those outside zones. Benet been absolutely on rails, but you could hardly open the door a little bit before James Dean takes a step in, and he does take a full step in, up onto the door and across the line.
Yeah, we'll have to see what that initiation looked like from the outside, because from James's perspective, he was doing a lot of work, and talked about in his little interview about putting him on the top of the box. 790 days. That would have been round 2 in Ireland in 2024 is the last time he saw it, and now with the Mustang, it's I'm sure he feels like it's time to get that thing up there. Yeah, interesting. That view, it's tough to tell. Here we go. So this is going to let us know Benet is on throttle, as we can tell from all of the pops and bangs. And it feels like both of them had a bit of a mistake from first viewing. So Benet lifts off, back on left foot brake, but James wasn't quite there. Now, obviously, there's a lot more battle to this than just the initiation, but we're taking a pretty big look at that. James having to clutch in, hold the limiter, and then dump the clutch again. So yeah, I think he's going to feel like he got stalled up quite a lot on that initiation. Now as we get through the rest of this. Benet looks good, getting the back end of the car really well into 5. Starting to bang off the taillights. And now James Dean does what he always does, hunts him down and starts to apply the pressure. But yeah, the big question is going to be on that initiation, how that played out. But we still have another half to this battle, so a lot can change in the second part of the run.
Yeah, certainly can. And see James Dean in there really working that car, really wheeling away, trying to get himself up close and personal to the Frenchman Jason Benet. The door open on James Dean's Mustang as he waits to get the thumbs up from our start line Marshall Martin. We wait for that green light with Dean to lead out Jason Benet as Benet now starts to creep already. He knows that Dean's fast. He knows he has that grip dialed in, but look at that from Benet, already initiates down onto the back bumper, follows down onto the side, lets James Dean do his thing out in those 2 first outside zones. Now really starting to hunt down the Irishman is Jason Benet as Dean puts the back end to the wall, flexing the tail light on the full Mustang as Benet comes through the smoke. He knows he needs to keep within touching distance of the Irishman as Benet jumps back on the door, up on the wall and across the line.
That's going to be a rough time for the judges on this one. Yeah. When you have a weird situation on the first run, you kind of hope it gets settled in the second by itself, and that is not the case here because both drivers did a great job. James Dean catching that first zone quite well as now he floats the car out to 3. Benet is there. Yeah. He's keeping up with them. He's mirroring everything that James is doing, slowly closing up the proximity. Jason does wait until the end of 4 before he really starts to cut the gap, and then the transition in 5 catches him just a bit inside, but floats the car in one more time. It's, man, tough. You can't stop thinking about the initiation on the first run. At least I can't.
No, and I mean, look, we spoke about it quite a bit. James even spoke about it himself, out of 2 being so critical, that line from 2 to 3. Now, for me, Jason Benet doing an incredible job there in that chase, but you can't have a good chase without an incredible lead, and James Dean definitely gave Jason Benet something to think about when he was chasing him. But yeah, I mean, it was all about maybe that small mistake. Judges still looking at the second half of the battle, so maybe something in there that we missed, Jacob, that's for sure.
Well, I think they start comparing proximity as well. You kind of take a situation like that and you go, okay, well, let's take a look at everything else and see, maybe there's something else that's going to tell us a different story.
Yeah, exactly that. Well, it looks like judges are putting in a decision. And it might pop up on your screen any second now. Who will be taking it through to the top 8? Will Dean keep that championship hunt alive, or will he start losing points to the Shanahan brothers? Still a deliberation going on from our judges. This is going to be a long night. Well, here we go. Decisions in. Left for Dean, right for Benet. It's going to be a split decision, but Benet gets the win and takes James Dean out of competition. David Kalas, we're going to quickly come to you. Jason Benet getting the win. Was it down to the mistake from Dean on the first half of the run?
Yeah, that's exactly what was for me and Tarmo the deciding factor. When we were looking on it, I need to say that the both lead runs were really good from both drivers. Very similar mistake at AutoZone 5, hitting the wall or touching the wall. It's very similar from both drivers. But this is the point where me and Tarmo were saying that the proximity from James was not good enough, where Jason decided rather to cut a little bit the line, but keep the proximity, which we needed to afford him the win because of that. Otherwise, very similar runs, very good runs, but here you can see how Jason just cut a little bit, but the proximity was way better through all that section.
Thank you very much, David. Yeah, and look, it was spoke about in the driver's briefing. The way to win the battle, the way to win here tonight was be on the door.
Agreed.
And that was what was said. Well, here we go. Back on the line we go. It's going to be David Spossum to take on Oliver Randalou.
Yeah, Randalou opting to chase as well. So getting the fresh tires on, did the exact same thing in top 32. Both times, because he did have it one more time in there as well.
Yeah, Randalou, the higher qualifier, as you say, opting to chase first. I look now, orange visor.
Yeah, orange or yellow?
I don't know.
Is it like a pumpkin or a sapphire?
Well, here we go. We're going to find out. Here we go. They're off the line and through the gears. David Spossum was ecstatic with that top 32 win, but now he goes up a very on form. Oliver Randalou. Randalou tags the wall on outside zone 2. Has to wait for Spossum to set himself up as Randalou now finds the pressure. Almost takes the back end off the S15. The Polishman being battered and bruised by the Estonian right now. Out on circuit as they go for the transition. Randalou is hungry for it, and mistakes start creeping into Spossum's lead as Randalou can't be shaken.
That contact was big, it was aggressive, and Randalou he's like, if I'm going to win, I'm just going to plow over anybody in my way. And unfortunately for David Spossop, he is the first victim. Initiation looks good, but look at Randalou, already there, catches the wall, slingshots himself, bounces off of it to regain that proximity. We're going to see here how deep in the wall he got. Not that bad.
No, just flexed the back end, looked way worse than
it did.
Than what it was.
I was concerned because of how much forward bite that car had that maybe he banged the alignment a little bit, towed in the rear, and just because it looks so bitey, it's so aggressive. Jeez, Randalou, calm down, leave some for the rest of us. That is just a nasty chase. That is, I mean, all the drivers are definitely friendly, but that seemed like a hate chase to me.
It was the transition from here as well, outside zone 5 to 6 from Oliver Randalou. And you're going to see it on that other camera angle. Watch this from the drone. Perfect shot. Look at this. Shallows up the angle to make that dive, then starts mirroring the angle. Spossop winds it on. Randalou says, boom, I'm going to go for it. Down on the inside, straight on the door.
Yeah, great job. It's kind of planning the move ahead of time as well. He let Spossop gain a little bit of distance on him so he could slingshot in. That is just nasty. It's like watching a professional pool player that just sets up the shots ahead of time.
And then clears up.
It just clears the board. Maybe while yelling and screaming, but yeah, for Randalou. Man, he's back, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, it took a while to wake Randalou back up again. I think he's been sleeping for a couple of rounds.
I don't think he was happy about the one more time in top 32. You could kind of see it when that call came up. And then, I mean, if you remember the second half of that, the second time they ran it, he was aggressive again and got the win. He went, well, all right, maybe just a little more.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to take here tonight in Germany. It's going to be, you're going to have to be aggressive. But not too aggressive that you make contact or hit the wall, because we've seen how that's played out so far. Here we go, thumbs up all around. We're waiting for the light to go green for Randalou to lead out David Spossop as they come off the line and through the gears. David Spossop now hunting down the Estonian, but look at this already. Oliver Randalou up and gone. The tailgate flies open as he runs the wall and now stands on the accelerator trying to drive away. And you can see Spossop shortcutting the track, making brave moves in to outside zone 5. But Oliver Randalou is absolutely dialed in on the zone. Spossop on the door, though, almost takes the front end off the S15 as Randalou robs every single outside zone. He's hungry for it across the line.
He's very hungry. He is very, very hungry. And unfortunately, with the first half, we didn't even get into it because Spossop had a great lead run. And it did give Randalou that opportunity to be that kind of aggressive. Spossop, again, like, you need to be right there with him. If you give him an inch, he's going to take a mile. And that's what we saw here. Randalou just completely gapped him. And then Spossop just had to battle back. Took him a couple of zones to do so, but still had great transitions in the chase. It's just, Oliver Randalou is angry right now.
Yeah, he is. And I think he's absolutely in the zone. He just looks focused. He looks like he's ready for business tonight. And he looks so chilled all weekend. You know, we know that Ferropolis has the huge beach and the lake, and I've seen him swimming every day and just having fun and enjoying himself. And again, this is this whole Jack Shanahan, Connor Shanahan, when you know the chips are down, you have some fun, and then that fun turns into winning, and then before you know it, you're in the mix for some big things.
Yeah, the mentality is so massive when it comes to driving, especially in a sport like this where you cannot make a mistake. There's nowhere to regain it. It's not, you know, it's not lapping where if you biff one corner, you can make it up 2 laps later. That's it. One mistake, it is completely over. But yeah, Oliver Randalou is a man possessed tonight.
It certainly is. Well, here we go. Decisions already in from the judges. Side of left for Randalou, right for David Spossop. It's going to be Oliver Randalou getting the win, advancing through. And David Spossop says, yeah, I get it. It's a split judging. Rasmus Rios saying, you know what, I'd like to see him go one more time. But all right, David Callas and Tormo and Levi Maggie saying, nope, that was all down to Oliver Randalou. Yeah, I mean, you can't take away the aggression and that chase.
Yeah, it's just absolutely mental. That's gonna be a great top 8 battle. Don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
No, certainly not. That top 8 battle is going to be electric. We're going to move things on to the last 2 battles in our top 16. It's going to be first up Peter Viensek to take on Mika Keskikorpi. We spoke about this earlier on briefly. Mika Keskikorpi, again, another driver looking relaxed, looking on form. A man that wipes a little bit of sweat from the brow in that A90 Super is Peter Viensek. He knows now that Korpolinski is out, and I know you've been looking at the points and trying to do some maths. I mean, what does this now mean for Wiecek? Wiecek can overtake Korpolinski if he can get himself on the podium this weekend.
It's going to be tough, but yeah, there is a good chance that could happen for him.
There we go, we're off the line and through the gears as Wiecek leads out Korpolinski. They fire down to outside zone 2, and look at this from Korpolinski straight away. The Finnish driver on to the rear wheel of the A90 Supra. They are matched pace for pace, and Korpolinski, Mika Keski-Korpi goes for the transition, but absolutely dialed into the zone is Peter Wiecek as they transition back into outside zone 6. Mika Keski-Korpi can't be shaken. The young Finn is now on the rear wheel of the Supra.
Both of them top of their game tonight. Piotr still looks unbeatable, but Mika just mobbing him in the chase. Just so, it's not even aggressive, it's just smooth. It's like there's a rubber band attached between the two cars, and every time that Piotr starts to gain a little bit of distance on Mika, you can see it, Mika just closes it back up again. They're just bouncing back and forth.
It's the reaction from Mika Keski-Korpi. You can see whenever Wiecek makes a move, Mika Keski-Korpi says, I'm going to give you the room, then I'm going to make a dive.
Yeah.
And he does it so quickly.
Yeah, he's doing phenomenal things. He's really just become one with this car in a lot of ways. And you look at Piotr and you just expect perfection all the time. And it does. It allows so many drivers in the chase to come out and do these incredible things. There you go. The wide eyes of Mika staring behind that tinted visor, hunting down.
God, and again, that Oliver Randalou style dive through to outside zone 6, it just works.
Yeah, it just works. These drivers sharing a podium earlier this year in Madrid.
Yeah.
Now back at it.
Yeah, well, this is for a spot in the top 8, and it means the world for Wiecek, knowing James Dean's out. The pressure may be off the shoulders of the Polishman at the moment, knowing that Korpolinski's out. He might be able to make a move in the championship. But can he get past Mika Keski-Korpi as they fire through the gears? The young Finn fires that F22 BMW into outside zone 2. Big angle, makes it work, stands on the accelerator and the foot brake. And Peter Wiecek deals with it as they fire in on that transition into outside zone 5. Wiecek gives him some room to maneuver, doesn't want to go too hard, but he needs to find that proximity as Mika Keski-Korpi goes for outside zone 7. Now Wiecek makes a dive up onto the front wheel and over the line.
Another really tough call for these judges because both of them are doing amazing things. I mean, Mika is so smooth out in the lead, and Piotr doing a very similar chase where Mika gains a little bit of ground and then Piotr starts to claw it back. As we take a look one more time here, Mika looks great. Piotr tries to go in a little bit late on that dive. I think maybe just gives a bit too much respect there. And now Mika starts to gain ground again. Piotr shooting back in. Tough battle. Tough battle for both of them.
Yeah, kind of took Wiecek a little while to get into it. You can see it gives him the room there. Dives up onto the door out of 4 and then gives him the room on 5. And it looks like Keski-Korpi kind of just drives away in outside zone 5. And you can see Wiecek there holding back, maybe waiting for that dive on outside zone 6. And you can see it there. A little bit of separation between those two guys.
Yeah, I love that. That overhead drone is a fantastic way to really understand what's going on. This driver's not seeing head-to-head competition since 2022 back in Lodz.
Yeah,
there you go. A bit of a throwback for you.
Yeah, that was many moons ago. Yeah, interesting. This is going to be definitely interesting. And the Polish flags are being held up. Look at that, the fingernails are being bitten. Well, it looks like the decision's in. Slide them left for Keski-Korpi, right for Wiecek. It's going to be Peter Wiecek. Wiecek gets the win, and a surprise for Wiecek. Wiecek doesn't quite know that is coming. David Kalasa, I believe you want to give a bit of an explanation on that one.
Yeah, like on the first glance, I need to say that Mika's chase looked really good. That was proximity and everything. But to have a good chase, you need to also have a good lead. And the problem of the chase of Piotr, why he was losing the proximity, was a problem of Mika coming from 2 to 3, where he was left foot braking quite a bit and he missed completely outer zone 3. And the outer zone 3, just in the qualification for your understanding, is -8 points. So that is a huge mistake, which is unsettling the chaser to not have the great proximity, which Mika was able to have when Piotr was fulfilling the line correctly.
Thank you very much, David. Yeah, I put in simple terms and looked from different views. You can see it there, and I see the left foot braking from Mika Keski-Korpi. Heavy on it, but didn't know how the judges were going to play that one, but there we go. That is how it is going to play out. Well, there we go. We're back on the line and ready to go. It's going to be Dwayne McKeever to take on Jarkko Juhla. And plenty of torches around Jarkko Juhla's car at the moment. So just wondering if there may be an issue with Jarkko Juhla's car.
Yeah, not sure. Looks like Dwayne leading first on this one.
Yeah, Dwayne McKeever, the higher qualifier, opting to lead first. A nod from both those guys, and you see Jarkko Juhla in the car, pumped up, ready to go, car into gear and start. Will he start to creep? He needs to creep. Yeah, he does. He starts to creep. He knows that McKeever could be quick. He knows McKeever will throw caution to the wind as the Northern Smoke Machine now fires in. And look at that from Jarkko Juhla, already on the back bumper of that 180SX as they get themselves in to outside zone 2. McKeever, lovely line to outside zone 3 and 4. Jarkko Juhla not really taking an opportunity here. Now dives through. Sparks erupt off the back of the 180SX as McKeever tags the wall. Jarkko Juhla in the mix, but transitions too late. Now starts to lose some ground to the Irishman as McKeever puts it on the wall and over the line.
Yeah, Dwayne aggressive as always. Putting on a show in any fashion that he possibly can, catching walls pretty much anywhere that we place them. So take a look. Jarkko Juhla doing an amazing job of really getting in there tight. Might have been a little bit too far inside. Judges don't want you past your front bumper, past the rear wheel of the lead driver. They're having to make a couple of big adjustments there through 2 and through 3. And the question is going to be here with Dwayne. That looks pretty clean to me.
Pretty clean, yeah.
Yeah. Nice bit of sparks. You get another great view of it. There it is. Oh, man.
Showered in the face of Jarkko Juhla as well.
Yeah. And then I think the transition after this as well for Jarkko. I want to see what happens with Dwayne. If he over angles. No. That seemed clean.
Yeah, it does seem clean. I think Jarkko Juhla just kind of mistimed it maybe and put himself on the inside to gain a bit of proximity to outside zone 7, make sure he was on the door for 8. McKeever, though, good out front. What you'd expect from Dwayne McKeever.
Yeah, always a showman.
Yeah, certainly is. Well, they're going to make their way back to the start line, and for Jarkko Juhla, the only finishman left in competition tonight. So the Finnish flags, well, they'll still be flying regardless of what happens, but unfortunately there won't be anyone to fly them for if Jarkko Juhla can't get past Dwayne McKeever tonight.
They'll be carrying those all the way through the airport. See them tomorrow morning. Okay, just trying to put what's left of Dwayne's car back together.
Yep, some self-driven screws.
I think it's fine, guys. Like, it's in the chase. Be all right. Quit putting holes in my ship. They got some decent sized ones. Yeah. That did nothing. It's okay.
Hey, they saved the budget for the long screws for Poland and for Germany.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do there. It's, we get to Poland, I mean, talk about contacts with walls and everything else that I don't know if it's going to be the same layout. Kind of hope it is. That inside transition, chef's kiss.
Well, maybe. Might be the same layout.
Maybe be different.
No spoilers from me and Jacob, that's for sure.
They won't tell me.
No, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, well, I like talking.
They give you a microphone, you talk to thousands of people.
Yeah.
And there we go, like goes green, they're off the line, and through the gears, Jarkko Juhla to lead out Dwayne McKeever. McKeever knows he needs to stick it to the Finns' door as they fire into outside zone 2, and it looks like Jarkko Juhla on a bit of a scrappy line here, not deep onto the wall, needs to find the form, get himself into that zone as McKeever goes deeper into outside zone 5 than Jarkko Juhla as they both navigate their way around and look for the transition to outside zone 6. McKeever keeping himself in the fight, now starts to apply the pressure as Jarkko Juhla gets that final outside zone and it's job done.
Yeah, Dwayne did a great job of adapting in the chase the whole way. Jarkko just didn't seem like he quite hit his form. A couple of spots in here where you can see just catching, might have been just a bit inside. 2 doesn't look too bad. Big adjustment in that front wheel through 3. He has to really extend it out. That arc is not quite as deep as what you need it to be to make 3 and 4 look nice. Yeah, you can already see Jarkko. I mean, he's fighting with that front wheel quite a lot. Gets on the left foot brake, locks up that outside wheel. As he transitions back through, Dwayne's got to give him a little bit more of a beat than he's used to because of the rear end of that large vehicle. And look at that, Dwayne just knocking. Couple little, hello, here's your delivery. Another amazing transition from Dwayne. Jarkko Jula, it's definitely not a bad run out front. There's just a couple little spots that are rearing their head. Even just unwinding there at the line.
Yeah, there's just a few things that crept in, and you can see both those guys out of the car, and Dwayne McKeever, big smile on his face. Slide him left for Jarkko Jula, slide him right for Dwayne McKeever, and it's going to be Dwayne McKeever getting the win, advancing through to the top 8. And unfortunately, we lose the last fin in competition here in Germany. Dwayne McKeever now take that car back to the paddock, a fresh pair of tyres, and get ready to take on a heavy hitter in the top 8.
Yeah, super big. So let's take a look now that Top 16 has wrapped up and see how things play out. Connor Shanahan, Kevin Passeur. Once again, championship implications for Connor Shanahan. He needs as many points he can get, and so does Jack Shanahan, who will take on another speedy driver, Nicholas Bertens.
Yeah, Oliver Randleau will take on the Frenchman Jason Benet, and then Viensek will take on McKeever. That is going to be a big battle. We are finding out now that Dwayne McKeever can't win the championship with how far forward everybody else has progressed, so he is out of the championship fight. But what he can do is upset Peter Viensek's weekend by thinking he's going to maybe be in the championship fight going into Poland.
Yeah, I mean, it can help out his fellow countrymen in their battle, as well as maybe find himself higher in the ranking, could be sitting second or third in the championship when the dust settles.
Yeah, certainly so. We can see down there in the tyre warming area, cars getting ready to head out to battle, and that will be the first battle of our top 8. The sun fully down. We are into the darkness. The grandstands are packed. It's a sold-out house here in Germany this weekend in Ferropolis. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your top 8. Well, here we go. We are on the line with the next battle, and Connor Shanahan opting to chase first.
Yeah, very interesting. See if this continues to play out for him. I mean, he led in 32 and then has chased ever since.
Yeah, led in 32 and chased ever since. And not sure how that decision is playing out for him. We're going to see. He knows Passeur's fast.
That's probably why then.
Is he asking Passeur to kill some of those tyres off before he gets into the lead? We'll find out. Before we send Connor Shanahan off the line, let's hear from that young man.
I think if we can finish on the box overall, I will be quite happy, and that's the plan this weekend, just to try, have fun, enjoy it, forget about the championship race, and have a look at, you know, Saturday night where we end up in points, and then go to Poland and try stay as high as we can. And but it's drifting, anything can happen, and yeah, it's not over until it's over.
No, it certainly isn't over until it's over, that's for sure. And here we go. We're ready to kick off our first top 8 battle. It's going to be Connor Shanahan to take on Kevin Passeur. Look at that, Shanahan opting to do a bit of a rolling burnout there on the foot brake. Holds that car back and lets Passeur initiate him. Shanahan straight onto the back bumper, deeper onto the walls. They fire down into outside zone 2 and 3. Passeur knows that Shanahan will be hunting him down. Passeur is fast, but look at this. Shanahan has matched the pace of the Estonian's car as they fire through outside zone 5. Shanahan is onto the side, looks for the front wheel as they fire into the final 3 outside zones. Passeur's on a blinder, but there's no shaking Shanahan.
Yeah, Passeur tried to gap him. He had to know. He had to know that Connor was going to be right there. And when they wrapped up things in 6, you could see Passeur trying to make a bit of a gap. And Passeur, big initiation, gets that car floated out. Look at Connor, deeper in 2 than Passeur was, and then just holds his door. This is a beautiful shot. It's going to give you an idea of exactly what it looked like. You could easily just reach out and touch that car. That shows you how close Connor Shanahan is. That's his safety zone. That's where he feels the most comfortable, is when, you know, you can start to count the flecks of paint in the car in front of you. That is how close Connor Shanahan likes to get. Passeur is really fast, but I will say there's a few spots in here where you can see him start to come out of the zone, and I wonder, a quick little shoulder check from him if he went, he's right there, I need to pull out a bit of a gap, and it's going to be in 7 that I saw him try and right through here.
And 8 as well. He kind of took like I'm going to go to your imperial measurements. He took a foot off the wall. He kind of took a foot out of the zone to try and shortcut it a little bit to pull away, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
I love the way that Shanahan's winding the car up before a transition.
Yeah.
That seems to be a real killer move this evening.
Well, you need as much speed coming out of it as you can, because you know Passeur is going to be fast out of the transition, so you have to do the same thing. Like he has to load the car, he has to load the suspension. It's a coiled spring, and then it gets that little bit of grip and fires into the side of the driver in front.
Well, here we go. Shanahan now in that lead position. Passeur to hunt him down as Shanahan flicks that car in. Look at Passeur, mirror image. They both go to the wall. Now Passeur does what Shanahan did, but he puts a lot of angle on it outside zone 3 and leaves himself a little bit of a question mark there as Passeur hunts down Shanahan. They go door to door and outside zone 5 as Shanahan looks for the transition to 6 and makes it work perfectly. There is no shake in the Estonian as Passeur knows exactly what he needs to do against Connor Shanahan.
I love that both of them made each other run each other's races. Yeah, and just it's like Connor's like, I'm going to throw down a stylish run. I'm going to have a ton of fun out there. It's a very enjoyable lead run. Oh, Passeur with contact already right off the bat. And this is Connor just trying to style him out. And Connor does not back down at any point. And Passeur is so hungry. He is just surging at every point in this track. Connor with that transition back out. Look how calm he is. And there's Passeur just trying to get at him. That is intimidating, to say the least.
Yeah, that is so intimidating. There was 2 mistakes there, though, for Passeur. Out of 2 and 3, Passeur not only tagging Shanahan, but he goes 2 wheels over the edge of the circuit. You can see him angle up more.
Oh,
and then
another one.
Another tag there onto the side of Shanahan's car, the rear and the front and wherever else on that car. That car was bullied in that battle.
Yeah, it was definitely bullied. That's he's trying to take his lunch money, that's for sure. Look at how quick he slams that around. You can see the contact in the car. You can see the car surge forward. Passeur is just all over him. Connor Shanahan not phased even for a moment. So the big thing that the judges will look at is, was Connor doing anything that he shouldn't have been? Was he decelling in areas that he shouldn't have been? Was he over-angling, as we talked about earlier on? What was going on in the lead that would potentially cause something to happen in the chase? I'm not entirely sure. The judges are going to... They're going to take a lot of looks at this.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something right now, Jacob, that the decision isn't in, and they are having a heated discussion about the initiation of Passeur chasing Shanahan.
Yeah.
There's a big deliberation right now.
There is a decel. There's an area where you need to be back on throttle. There's an area where you can float. There's a lot going on here, and I think, you know, Connor really wanted to go wide. He wanted to hang out Passeur, drag him into deep waters, try and get him to go out there. When you have a car that's that grippy, when it's got that much forward bite, the best way to battle against it is to kind of outstyle it.
Yeah.
Throw a ton of angle, because it's tough for a vehicle to do that.
Just going to say, throw a ton of angle at it, push that car right to the edge of the circuit. We see Shanahan run that wide line. They're looking at this. Look, this is the judging. What you're seeing now is what the judges are watching. This is exactly the same view that the judges are seeing, and they're looking at that. Look, first outside. Watch Passeur's line, where he goes so deep. He ends up with a wheel over the edge of the track, dials on more angle, gets a little loose on those marbles that have been thrown down through top 16. Look at Passeur.
He's just had fun.
And he's like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I tell you what, I'd love a highlight reel like that.
Yeah, it's a fun battle for sure.
It certainly is.
We're already here, and we're going to need an explanation.
Okay, all right, there we go. Decisions in, slide of left for Shanahan, right for Passeur. It's a one more time. It's going to be a one more time, and they are absolutely loving it. Well, I've never seen 2 drivers more happy to get one more time. David Kalas, that was a heated debate between the 3 judges.
Yeah, we've been discussing a lot what was happening in the second corner and also what was happening in the last corner. What we were seeing is Connor using the left foot braking in a way that it looked that it affected the chaser. Here you can see that there is left foot brake, and immediately afterwards there is a quite significant correction by the chaser, and we were discussing a lot how much that left foot brake can affect the chaser. From my perspective at Tarmos, it was affecting the chaser enough to send it one more time, when Raz was saying that no, that was not enough to unsettle the chaser, so he was voting for Connor.
Thank you very much, David. Well, there we go. We're going to see him again, and I expect more fireworks from these 2 guys. And there we go. Talking about fireworks, it's going to be Jack Shanahan's take on Nicolas Bertans, and Jack Shanahan, the higher qualifier, asking Nicolas Bertans to lead first.
Yeah, I think he wants as much tire as he can get to keep Nick Nack in his sights. They've gone head-to-head 3 times now. 1 time, actually here, back in 2022. Jack has 2 wins, Nick Nack with 1, but Nick Nack with the most recent back in 2025 in Gräfenhainichen.
Yeah, there we go. Ready to get that green light, and you can see Shanahan already creeping. He knows the Bertan's car is super lightweight, super gripped up, and super fast. And what can he do as he fires down? And Shanahan now carrying more angle into the outside zone than Bertan's, and it looks like Bertan's came up a little short there on outside zone 3. We're going to see what the judges think of that as they get themselves into outside zone 5, and there's no shaking. Jack Shanahan as he puts that car on a shallower angle to keep up with the Latvian. They get into the last 2 outside zones, and there is no shaking Jack Shanahan as he goes to the door.
Man, Jack, it's just experience. It's so much experience. It's knowing what different drivers are like. You have to think about how many different drivers Jack has driven with over all the series he's run everywhere in the world. He is constantly driving. He's driving all winter, he's driving all summer, he's driving in his dreams. Jack is constantly practicing, so he knows what happens when you go against different drivers, and he knows how to adapt against those drivers. Great onboard here of Jack, a little bit of adjustments. You see him really playing, waits for Nick Nack to come around, then gets his transition done. One quick pull of the handbrake to get the car settled. Nick Nack out front, very fast, as we were to expect. Through 5, you can see him just picking up even more speed. It's a car that truly does gain speed at angle. It's an incredible thing that they have built, and Nick Nack is now just fully come to terms with it. This to me is that moment you look back on, you go, when was the night where Nick Nack truly understood how to drive this car? This really feels like it to me.
Yeah. I think we were close to it in Latvia.
Yep.
I think this weekend here in Germany is where he's gone, I understand the car.
But he's driven it in different ways. It's not like he's just been all attack all the time. He's learned how to use the throttle to kind of take some of the grip out of it, where he's kind of overspinning the tires in a few situations to get a bit more angle out of it. Like he's done a lot to utilize every single aspect of the car. As we take a look at Jack Shanahan, who's going to have 30 seconds left to get that car cooled down. We'll get the leaf blower going.
Yeah, he's going to use every single bit of that, and you can see his crew there just blowing some cold air through the radiator in the rear of the car as well, and just making sure that car is ready to rock and roll. And there we go, he gets a thumbs up, and he will jump himself into that lead position. Thumbs up to Bertans for waiting for him as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
very respectful.
Very respectful and good sportsmanship between all of our drivers. And thumbs up there from Nicholas Bertans in that carbon Kevlar E92 BMW. Shanahan gets the green light to go. It's Shanahan to lead out Bertans for a spot in the top 4. Who would it be as Shanahan goes deep on 2 and then stands on the accelerator, dabs on the foot brake though, and keeps that car balanced in those outside zones. Oh, and a misplaced transition from Bertans puts him out of formation, and that's going to allow Jack Shanahan to drive away on outside zone 5. It's a good transition to 6 as well. Again, now Bertans needs to apply the pressure, but he can't, and he gets there just across the line.
Yeah, just one tiny mistake from Bertans, just a sliver of time that got away from him, caused that situation from him. Jack Shanahan out the gate looks good, really quick, initiates nice and early. He is initiating so soon. I mean, it feels like earlier than anybody else. Floats the car out nice and wide. Very similar to what Connor did. I'm hoping that doesn't come back to bite him, because it's a very similar matchup.
Yeah.
When you look at how everybody stacks up. Jack Shanahan, he's on a lot of left foot brake through there. I do think that is going to be something that is going to be pointed out and discussed between the judges. I think they already are. And yeah, Nick Nack unfortunately just gets caught on the wrong side of that transition, maybe a little bit in the smoke, hard to tell. And then once you're on that tighter line through 5, there's not much you can do to try and bring it back in.
No, it's a tough ask for Nicholas Bertans to get himself back on that line. He doesn't want to fall in to that outside zone and then lose more ground to Shanahan. Brave transition on outside zone 6. Bertans, you can see him there really just push at the last moment on to the rear bumper of that GT86, and Bertans still in the mix, but yeah, I think you're right. I think there's going to be a question mark hanging over that left foot braking outside zone 3, that's for sure, as our judges start to input their scores into the system.
Yeah, it feels so similar to the Connor battle.
Yeah, look, the flags are flying, the Irish flags are waving, a little bit of nervousness in the grandstand, and it's tense here tonight in Germany. There we go, looks like our decision is dropping in. Slide them left for Shanahan, right for Bertans. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Jack Shanahan. Jack Shanahan gets the win, advances on to the final 4 here in Germany. A split decision. David Kalasa, and he wants to see it one more time. And I'm looking at David. I'm just, is it the left foot braking? You were a little bit, yeah. And he's saying, yeah. Like, I understand it. Yeah. For me, it wasn't physically slowing the car down a whole bunch. It wasn't like a rolling burnout. But I see where David is. It may have thrown Bertans off. Yeah, it was a bit too much, yeah.
I just thought that Kalas is just a massive fan of drifting and wanted to see him go again. That was my thought.
David Kalas has already said, if we could just do this until the sun comes back up again in Germany, yeah, he's like, yeah, please.
Yeah, you have an early flight, so might as well just keep it going.
Yeah, mine's not till tomorrow night late, so it'll be fine. Here we go. We're back on the line to the next battle, and it's going to be Jason Benet to take on Randall.
Man, this is fun. You try not to get too far ahead of yourselves, but both drivers have been incredibly aggressive. They've both overcome some amazing drivers. You know, Oliver Randall getting through Espen Road, who seemed on absolute form, then into Spasab, and now here against the Frenchman. Oh boy, this is going to be good.
There certainly is going to be a good one. What can Jason Benet do in that Subaru BRZ? As that 2JZ Sings off the line, anti-lag firing. He knows that Randall's fast, and he's been on form as he mirrors the angle down into outside zone 3. As Jason Benet now looks for that wide outside line, comes up a little short on outside zone 4, but now starts to dial it in, but there's no shake in the Estonian as Oliver Randall looks for the side of that Subaru. Oh, there's a little bit too much angle in it, now has to play catch-up, dives onto the rear wheel of the Subaru, of the Frenchman, and across the line.
Got caught out just for a minute. Just for a minute, so check again in the replay, make sure nothing hinky kind of happened there with Jason Benet, as we now see them come across the line. Benet a little bit later on that initiation, but does get the car sideways just in time. I think he was a bit inside too. Randall is bobbing and weaving in the chase, trying to find his line and try to find the side of Benet. Does a decent job of that through 4, transitioning out to 5. And now we start to see Randall, but he bites off a bit more than he can chew.
Yeah, he has to take a bit of angle out of that. You can see him shallow up in outside zone 5, but they're not really doing a whole lot wrong. Maybe not as deep into some of them zones as we'd like to have seen him. But watch this from Randall. Look, takes a big bite out of it, and you see him check up a little bit. You can see it so right clear here. Yeah. Look at this. Checks up and then goes, I'm on the inside. Now he has to get back into it, shallows up the angle, and that already starts to let Benet get away.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate mistake. Overcommitting a little bit. Maybe thought Benet was going to throw more angle, but Benet got on the throttle right away as soon as he got into 5. And for Randall, that brief pause that he had is not going to be fantastic. As we start to look again, though, you're dead right. Benet not all the way through all these zones, so there is an opening for Randall. If he can get out there in the lead and just touch the wall at every zone, he's going to have this battle really become a difficult decision for the judges.
Yeah, he is, and I think the judges are going to look at that lead, though, from Benet and say it wasn't really encouraging Randall to get as close, maybe a clean enough chase. Well, the back of the line, there's a second half of the story to tell in this one as Jason Benet tests the hydro one more time and now starts to creep off the line as it goes green, and Oliver Randall leads him out in that M50 Turbo BMW E46 as he gets it down nice and tidy into outside zone 3. Oh, but a big check up there for Oliver Randall, has to wait before he gets on the power, and that opens the door for Jason Benet. And can Benet get back into the fight as he loses some ground on the transition? Oliver Randall looks quick, but now Jason Benet gets himself back into it again as Randall fires that car deep onto the wall. Oliver Randall up and across the line, and Benet no answer.
It'll be a discussion of little mistakes all the way through.
Yeah.
This Randall, another strange checkup for him in 4 this time. Outside of that, though, I mean, he is touching the wall. He's doing exactly what we'd hope he'd do. But yeah, you cannot ignore the decel that you're about to see.
Yeah, I just see the judges taking a big look at it. Watch this. You talk us through it, Jacob.
Yeah, so after initiation, now we're into 2. Take a look at Randall up front. It's a big stall. It's off. It's not at the right angle. He V's out that section of the track instead of making it a U, and Benet gets choked up pretty heavily. So a couple of very rare mistakes here from Randall, but you start to weigh that against Jason Benet, who in the chase, it did take him a little bit, didn't quite have the same proximity, and in his lead was lacking, some zones. He was not all the way out to all the walls, so not what you necessarily want to see at this point in competition, but it's going to be weighing out the different mistakes of each driver.
Yeah, certainly is, and I think the occasion may be getting to Jason Benet a little bit here. First time he's reached this far in competition ever, I do believe.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right on that one. So it's a different game now.
And that's the thing, you know, like the top 16s, your top 32s, kind of get into those at this level fairly easy for some of these drivers, and you start getting into the top 8s and the top 4s, it starts to get a little bit more tricky.
It's a war of attrition. The car is not happy at that point. You're in a place where there's a ton of rubber down on the track. You're putting in a bit more grip into it. You're driving against usually drivers that have been there before.
Yeah.
You know, for Randalou, being at this position is he's no stranger to it. He's been here many times before, so kind of knows what it takes to win this type of battle. It's the French fans.
Yeah,
super
super nervous there. That French fan, very nervous. You can see holding the flag, gritting her teeth, hoping that Jason Benet can get himself into his first ever Final Four here at Drift Masters. You can see the amount of media down there ready to get that decision. So here we go. Jason Benet waves to the drone. They wait for that decision to drop in. Oliver Randalou still suited and booted. He gives a wave and the thumbs up. But does Oliver Randalou think that business is done here for him this evening here in Germany? We'll slide him left for Randalou, right for Benet. It's going to be a one more time. It's going to be a one more time between these two guys. And a little bit of a split judging decision, and these you guys want to see him again. I see it, mistakes from the lead, mistakes in the chase. I see Randalou check up outside zone 3, and yeah, there we go, outside zone 3, slowing. David Clash just quickly jumping in there to make that official. And we can see two more guys on the line ready to rock and roll, and it will be the one more time battle between Connor Shanahan and Kevin Passeur. Connor Shanahan opting or asking Kevin Passeur once again to lead first. You see a nervous Connor Shanahan in the car there, maybe thought that it was done on the first time, but nevertheless excited to do it once again with Kevin Passeur. There we go, thumbs up all around. The lights start to fall. We wait for that green light. Passeur gets the signal to leave the start line as he hammers through the gears. Big separation this time for Shanahan, though. He needs to find the side of that BMW. He does now as Kevin Passeur gets onto the throttle, comes up a little short on some of those outside zones, and that's only going to open the door for Connor Shanahan as Shanahan gets himself in to outside zone 5 and up on the side of the BMW, takes a brave dive through the smoke. Shanahan knows that Passeur put even more grip into that BMW once again, up and across the line.
It's just great to see they're starting to clean up some of these mistakes. They're both getting aggressive. They're both trying to find just a little bit more in the cars, whether it's their own piloting or the grip they put down or what it is. But yeah, this is absolutely mega. Look at this. Connor is just biding his time. He's waiting for Passeur to really get that car to light off, as we do see another left foot brake there. And this time it's coming from Passeur, but as soon as he is back on throttle, man, that car just takes off.
It's so quick, so quick.
So fast, so much grip in it. Connor does not let him get away, though. He's not willing to back down. He is not, he's not conceding at any point. Good dives, maybe not the proximity that we saw on the previous one from Connor. But yeah, Passeur still just as fast.
Yeah, certainly so, especially out there in that lead, but it's out the plan for Connor Shanahan again, asking Passeur to lead first. Is he asking him to burn off a whole bunch of that tyre so he doesn't have the tyre to chase?
Could be. It's not that drivers play games, but there is strategy, right?
I feel like this has come in more into play in 2026 than it ever has before, with the option to lead or chase from the higher qualifier.
It's been great. Maybe my favorite addition.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so nice. It's just, it's one more thing to think about. It gives the driver something to kind of feel some control.
Exactly. Well, here we go. The light goes green. It will be Shanahan now to lead out Kevin Passeur. And Shanahan looking for that perfect qualifying run, but Passeur straight onto the back bumper at GTA 6. They get down into outside zone 2. Passeur, no messing around this time. Not the same mistake again. And Shanahan deep on those zones and a good transition, but Passeur is straight in there. The door is open, and Kevin Passeur is closer than he was before as he kicks the clutch on that BMW. It makes a dive through the smoke outside zone 6. Passeur glued to the side of Connor Shanahan, up to the wall across the line.
Another tough call, but the first thing I think of is Connor Shanahan taking a listen to the stream, understanding what the mistake was, because I think he might have touched the left foot brake there through 3, but if it wasn't for very long, it was just quick little adjustments of the vehicle and making sure that the same mistakes don't happen again. So Connor floating that car out, doing a great job, and you can keep an eye out for those brake lights to when he makes the adjustments, but significantly less than what we saw previously, and good job through 5, but Passeur just does not back down, and that's the concerning part here for Connor Shanahan is Kevin Passeur is absolutely all over him in the chase, and I venture to say has more proximity than what we saw from Connor, and that doesn't happen very often.
I mean, there's no hiding it.
No.
Right, the drone shots, the camera angles that we have from Red Bull TV, it's just, it shows you every single move, and the lead from Shanahan was exactly what we expected, but what that has encouraged was Passeur to get even closer than he did before.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one. I will say though, I mean,
look at these two
love
guys.
This. It's
They're
like
having
kids.
so much fun, and that is dangerous for these two guys. Well, here we go. Looks like decisions in. Slide them left for Passeur, right for Shanahan. It's going to be Connor Shanahan. Connor Shanahan gets the win and takes down Kevin Passeur. And I know you were chatting to the judges there, Jacob.
Came down to the lead runs. Just Connor was cleaner, deeper throughout all the zones. Kevin Passeur cut a couple corners here and there, but we are splitting hairs for sure. These drivers are doing an incredible job.
Well, they certainly are, and it looks like it was almost a repeat of 2025. But Connor and Jack will face off in the final 4 for a spot in the final. Interesting stuff, but we've still got battles left to go. And
yeah, I'm just running more numbers. I'm checking on things. Don't worry, we're seeing who's still in this.
Okay.
I'll get we got a fantastic person. I just got the green light. It does mean Jack Shanahan still a contender
for the championship,
no matter what happens. So at this point in time, it's now just a battle for how many points as we take a look at right now, second place overall.
Well, I mean,
Vincek.
Look, there was 108 points separating Korpolinski and Connor Shanahan at the beginning of the weekend. Connor Shanahan right now looks like he's setting up to gain 108 points over the course of today if he can keep that form going. We're moving it back to the start line. It's going to be the Polishman, Peter Wiensek, to take on Dwayne McKeever, the Northern Smoke Machine, in that 2JZ powered 180SX. 2.2 JZs, both 1,000 horsepower. Look at this, McKeever already on the radio, talking to the spotter, winking to the cameraman down there on the start line. McKeever already trading notes and trying to work things out.
He's chill, he's having a good time.
He certainly is. Well, there we go, car into gear for McKeever as he starts to creep and he gets the green light, and it's going to be Wiensek, the high qualifier, to lead them out as they fire into that second outside zone. And look at that, Wiensek onto the wall, but there's no shaking McKeever. Wiensek now tries to push the back end of that Supra as close and as deep into the outside zone as he can. But look at McKeever as he shallows up the angle and tries to find the side of the A90 Supra. Oh, cameras and body panel shed as McKeever hits the back of Wiensek's Supra.
It's like he's fighting for everybody else that's in this competition right now, and it's not a targeted attack here, but it's like for Dwayne, it's still a point in the season. It's going for his best placement in the championship. That's what he's fighting for right now. He might not be able to take the top spot, but he wants to take second overall, and the man that's in the way of that right now is Piotr Wiensek, who is also fighting for another championship. Piotr very calm, but can't say the same about Dwayne McKeever. Cool, man. Great transitions, good dive. I mean, it feels like an Irish transition. The way that they do that, the way that bumper to bumper, really snappy, right back into the pocket. It's growing across the world. We see it more and more, but yeah, Dwayne just exemplifying what it means to be an aggressive Irish driver.
Boom.
Again, back on throttle, trying to regain that proximity, but at that point in time, Piotr's put on the jets and started to walk away just a little bit.
Yeah, that contact onto 6 messed up McKeever more than it affected Peter Wiensek. Look at this.
Yeah, Dwayne had to kind of hold tight on that one.
Yeah, he kind of created his own mistake there.
Love the aggression. It's unfortunate, the repercustions.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for the aggression. I'm here for banging body panels, rubbing doors, but I think for McKeever...
like, what do we do with this?
It's like, there's nothing left.
There's nothing left. Oh, man. Poor Dwayne's body, man.
Well, there we go. Thumbs up all around. It will be McKeever now to lead out. Peter Wiensek in that 2JZ powered A90 Supra. The light goes green. And look at this, Wiensek already starting to hunt down the Irishman as he flicks it to angle. Wiecek onto the side, onto the front wheel. Now looking for the door as he finds it in the first 3 outside zones. Makiva onto the wall, flicks that car back once again. Wiecek up onto the side, in outside zone 5 as Makiva fulfills it completely. No mistakes this time from either driver as Wiecek leads to hunt him down, wants to find the side. Makiva takes him to the wall and over the line.
Yeah, Dwayne he wanted to see how far Piotr is willing to push to keep this championship race alive for him right now. He really did. He put it on every single wall. He went back to like a qualifying line. That's what it feels like. Like no games, no trying to run away from anybody. I'm just gonna have a bunch of angle. I'm gonna touch every single wall that is out here. You know, we can replace the rear end of this car a little bit later. And Piotr, he didn't really bite on a lot of it. He did a great job of keeping the proximity, but at no point kind of got caught up in the bit of ego of like, come on out here, come on out to the wall, let's see what you can do. Piotr he stuck with him the entire way. He kept the great line, but at no point did he do anything like that where you could put your chase run in detriment. It's a very smart move from Piotr and a wild lead run from Dwayne Makiva.
Yeah, it certainly is a wild lead run from Makiva, and you could just see there from that aerial drone shot that Wiecek kept his nose clean. As you say, Jacob, wasn't led astray by Dwayne Makiva at any point of that.
Oh, man, I just love watching Dwayne drive, though. Oh, it's so much fun. Judge is still having a quick shot about it.
Makiva shaking the head there, slide left for Makiva, right for Wiecek, who's taking it through to the final 4. It's going to be Peter Wiecek. Wiecek takes it through to the final 4, and it's one step closer to that championship dream as he now starts to bag up the points. And I know you're looking at the abacus in the background.
I'm waiting for it to update right now.
Well, we're going to go down trackside because Becky is with Peter Wiecek, who is hunting down another championship. It's been a tough few years, but he looks like he's on form this year, Becky.
Peter, congratulations on winning your battle. Can you give us an update on the track right now? Because it seems like the cars are nicely settled, but how is it for you?
Yeah, definitely the track feels different like during the yesterday's qualification, but somehow we managed to adapt. Great thanks to all my team, to my spotter, because they're doing tremendous job. That was actually the first proper battle that I have today, so I'm very happy about that, and yeah, I hope we'll keep on pushing the momentum. I'm very happy to being in top 4 in here. It's excellent. So guys, let's keep on pushing and fingers crossed.
Brilliant, thank you, Peter.
Yeah, there we go, the Polishman happy. Business as usual for him, and yeah, keep going forward, keep moving forward. Look at that. And Peter Wiecek, very, very happy with that result. Well, there we go, we're going to get Wiecek off the track, and we're going to go back to the one more time between Jason Benet and Oliver Randalou. And Oliver Randalou asking Jason Benet to lead first once again, and some heavy breathing going on in that Subaru BRZ of the Frenchman, but happy as ever, puts his thumbs up, and no doubt we'll get a stone cold killer look of Oliver Randalou. Yeah, look, he knows.
Set your watch by that.
Yep. Yeah, car into gear, waits for the green light, starts to creep already as Benet now gets the green light to lead them out for a spot in the final 4 for one of these drivers, and they fire down to initiation. And look at this, Benet not as deep in outside zone 2 once again, and now not the same mistake from both drivers. And you can see once again Oliver Randalou taking a bite, taking a little push, pushing ever closer, trying to get into the mix. A mistake though from Randalou, takes too much out of it once again. Contact as he hits the wall, but they both stay in it as Oliver Randalou pushes to the limit across the line.
Yeah, some frustration starting to creep through, and Oliver Randalou's driving. You know, he didn't like the one more time in top 32, probably wasn't super happy about the one more time with Benet, and then starts to have a few things creep in that chase drive, and it all comes to a head a bit later in the run. Benet not all the way out to the wall, but you can already tell Randalou is just hungry to try and push this battle a little bit further. The transition looks good here, and I'm wondering if Benet is a bit delayed on that, and that's what ends up creating Randalou to get a little bit choked up in 5, and then, but unfortunately, he then takes his frustration out at the next transition. So whether it was his fault or not, This, to me, looked clean from Benet, but Randalou seemed frustrated.
It looked also to me like Jason Benet shallowed out the angle in outside zone 5.
Yeah.
Maybe he was mistimed on the transition. I tell you, Benet did well to deal with that and not put that car off the edge of the circuit. He did hold on to it for sure. And again, those nervous French fans hoping, praying that Jason Benet can advance forward. Yeah, for me, the shallow angle in outside zone 5 for Benet was maybe a little frustrating for Oliver Randalou.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I mean, the judges took a big look at it, wrote some notes down, so if it comes into play, we will let you know. But for right now, Oliver Randalou has got to take a couple big, deep breaths, calm down, because he's going to have a lead run that could be make or break for this entire event.
Yeah, look at this, Jason Benet absolutely pumped up, fired up inside that car as he looks over at Oliver Randalou as our start line Marshall Martin takes a good look around the car. He's going to check the alignment on that car with his eyes, so those laser eyes of Martin.
Yeah, he is a full 3D scanner of a human.
Yep. Well, he says, look, from where I'm standing, you look good to go. So if you're happy, then let's send it. And it would obviously go to the judges if it needed to be looked at deeper. Here we go, the light goes green. It will be Randalou to lead out Jason Benet for a spot in the final 4. Waits for one of these drivers as now Oliver Randalou puts that car deep into outside zone 2. Jason Benet tries to hang with him as Randalou does exactly what he did before. Puts that car right to the edge of the circuit, deep into the zones. Oh, but it checks up a little bit outside zone 5. Needs to find the wall as he flicks that car to outside zone 6. He knows the Frenchman's breathing down his neck as Jason Benet now puts the wheel onto the door of Oliver Randalou.
Wow. I mean, I feel like Randalou has calmed down a bit, but not all the way. Still very aggressive in this and just making some strange decisions and not able to really fulfill all the duties of that's been requested of a lead driver. Benet does hang back there for a second. Lets Randalou get the initiation done and then starts to reel him in. And you can see just how much angle Randalou's got and the speed, but Benet doing a phenomenal job of just very slowly creeping in, not overcommitting at any point. Safe, but still aggressive. So love to see how Benet is progressing even through this event and how much confidence he's starting to get as a driver. And right here for Randalou, he's in zone 5. You can see him kind of taking some angle out, adds some more in at the end, and then shoots that car out. Benet gets caught out, but I mean, Randalou's not quite at the best line.
Yeah, I'm a little shallow on outside zone 5, which is uncharacteristic of Randalou.
It's a big zone, too. It's worth a lot of points. So, Randalou looks good here through the final zone, but Benet's still with him.
Yeah, there's no shaking the Frenchman, that's for sure. Both drivers jump out of the car and Benet opting to do a few exercises. As decisions in, slide them left for Randalou, right for Benet. It's going to be Jason Benet! Jason Benet gets himself in to the final 4 for the first ever time at Drift Masters. And look what it means to the French fans. They are absolutely ecstatic, Jacob. I mean, what a night for Jason Benet.
Oh, for sure. And I think that expression says it all. We might have a new meme on our hands there for Jason Benet. I'm very happy for him. It's an incredible event for him, an incredible night. And we saw it early in qualifying, how well he was doing, how much speed he's picked up, and it's just continued on all the way in, and hopefully holds on to it, as now we take a look at who he's going to battle in that final 4, and that's Piotr Wincek.
Yeah, it's going to be an all-Shanahan first battle in the final 4 for a place in the final and one in the playoff, and it's going to be Wincek to take on Jason Benet for a spot in the final. Who knows what way this is going to swing tonight here at Drift Masters Round 6 2026 in Ferropolis under the lights in Germany, Jacob. But things are definitely getting interesting with our championship standings, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is definitely getting incredibly spicy right now, and it does have it looks like Piotr Wincek well within striking distance of Paweł Korpolinski, so we won't get too far ahead, but yeah, absolutely wild.
Yeah, absolutely wild. Look at this, what it meant for Wincek as he gets back into the paddock. You can see him in the car, a big sigh of relief. You can see the rest of the team there down there in the car, making sure it's prepped and ready to rock and roll for that battle against Jason Benet. And he'll be looking, saying, well, Jason Benet, never been here before, never been in this situation, so maybe a little bit of nerves creeping in, but that might encourage a Frenchman to push beyond what he's never done before. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to keep the action rolling. It's time for our final 4. Right, here we go, we're back on the line. It's an all Shanahan affair. Well, in 2025, this was the final battle of the evening in Ferropolis, but tonight it's going to be done in the final four. Only one of these drivers will be in the final. The other one will have to play off for the third step in the podium. This time, Connor Shanahan has once again asked Jack Shanahan to lead.
Oh man, they're having some fun out there. They're definitely having some fun out there and kind of choosing what they think is going to work best. I do like this setup. I'm very excited to see what Jack is going to be able to do out in the lead. I mean, these drivers have battled 8 times over the years.
Well, here we go. It's a green light to go. It's going to be Jack Shanahan to lead out Connor as they flick those cars into initiation and down to outside zone 2. Perfectly on the wall from both of them. Jack Shanahan, was that a tag on the wall maybe? But he didn't jump on the foot brake, so uncharacteristic. Oh my God. The line into outside zone 5 from Jack Shanahan didn't make any sense. But Connor stays with him. He's trying to throw his brother off, but he can't throw Connor right now as they get door to door across the line.
It's back to the Z's. It's just back to the practice days, you know, back to a field and an old beat-up truck. Whatever it is just that type of driving when these two go head-to-head. It's the best kind of drifting. It reminds you of the old days, just two people who don't care about their cars at all. They just want to have fun. That's what you see here. Look at Jack throwing it real wide. He does catch that wall.
Tag the wall.
But look, immediately on the left foot brake, knows it's going to throw him into the wrong part of the zone, makes the adjustment. Connor probably knew he was going into the wall before Jack did, and starts to back out of it. And there, look at that, Connor going after Big Bro, trying to run the doors. It's just, two Shanahans going at it in Germany. Where have I seen this before?
Yeah, you would have seen that in 2025 in the final.
Now we get it a bit earlier, and it's just as fun.
It certainly is, yeah. A mistake creeping in to Jack Shanahan's lead there. Connor dealt with it. He just could not get rid of his pesky younger brother.
That's how it is. If anybody's ever had a younger brother, you know what they're like. Oh, man. I just enjoy it. Just absolutely enjoying it.
Yeah, unbelievable. I was just watching there, Connor in the car, how close he was to that rear quad. As well, Jack not going that deep in that final outside zone, and the Irish flags are waving. Those guys all supporting the Shanahans. Only one of them is going to make it through to the final, but hey, they'll take that, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about championship implications. There's points to be picked up here for both of them. I mean, Connor currently, as the points stand, is in 3rd. Jack's still in 5th. Jack's going to need as many as he can get to make this viable for him and for Connor. He wants to close that gap. Piotr is sitting in 2nd right now, and we'll get into more options as to what could happen, but for right now, that's how the standings sit, but we'll see how everything plays out once the dust settles on this second battle.
Yeah, certainly so. Well, here we go. We've swapped them around. They're on the line, ready to rock and roll. Will be your first place qualifier, your defending champion, Connor Shanahan, to lead out his brother, Jack Shanahan, for a spot in the final. Who will take it through here in Germany to fight for the top step on the podium? They fire through the gears and flick to initiation, and Jack Shanahan is already on the back bumper. They both go deep into outside zone 2. Contact. Outside zone 3 though, and Jack Shanahan has to shut it down. Now gets himself back into the fight as Connor gets himself into outside zone 5. Jack Shanahan back up onto the door, back on the rear bumper. They transition to 6 as Jack Shanahan won't give up without bullying his brother around the circuit.
You might as well. You might as well. He took a swing, he swing right back, and we'll take a look at that initiation, understand exactly what happened to Jack Shanahan. As now we see them under the lights in Ferropolis. Connor gets the initiation done real early. Jack already on that back wheel. Both of them grazing the wall. And yeah, it's strange. It's like Jack just angled up. I'm gonna have to take a really hard look at this. Oh, you saw that too.
I see what you're, hey.
Yeah.
I can smell what you're cooking.
Yeah, a little flash of red there for Connor. And the question's gonna be, was there a big decel? Because Jack has nowhere to go at that point. You are so far in. Jack does look like he's trying to get back on throttle. And the question, but it also looks like Jack might have caught some understeer. So it's two, to me, seems like two different things happening at the same time. Now, I don't know if it's cause and effect. I don't know if one caused the other. But the judges are taking a lot of looks right now purely at that initiation.
Yeah, they are. I'm looking across at the monitor that me and you have, Jacob, of the judge's view, the judge's camera, and I wonder if Connor was off throttle at outside zone 3. I think it may have got a little greasy down there.
Could be.
And I wonder if Connor fired that car in so fast that He didn't get back on throttle because the car was floating, and that gave Jack hit him. Oh, there we go. Look at this.
They would tell us. They would tell us.
Here we go. Slide them left for Connor. Slide them right for Jack. It's going to be Connor Shanahan. Connor Shanahan gets the win. And Jack says, well done. And Connor Shanahan keeps the evening, the weekend rolling by. Usual business for the Shanahans.
Oh, man. Yeah. An amazing run, and unfortunately just a bit of contact there is what ends up deciding it. I would have loved to have seen a clean battle all the way through, but when you're pushing that hard, that's what ends up happening.
Yeah, it certainly does, and I'm just looking at David Callas now. He's writing some notes, but we're going to go down trackside because Becky Evans is down there with Connor Shanahan. Becky, it looks like Connor Shanahan is business as usual.
Absolutely, guys. Connor, congratulations on getting through that battle. It's always great to drive with your brother. We saw a little bit of contact and out of zone 2 there. Can you tell us what happened from your point of view in the driving seat?
Yeah, obviously Jack went in the wall in his lead and kind of affected my chase coming out of outer zone 3, but tried to do the same lead as I've been doing all weekend, the same lead what qualified P1 last night, and I think I'm a lucky boy that I can do those lead runs, or else I wouldn't be standing here. The battles with Passor, I'm struggling because, yeah, this tyre what we're on, it sucks that we can't use the same tyre as last year, and starting chase first instead of lead first is hard to get into a rhythm. You know, me and my spotter are trying to make a decision how much risk you take. But yeah, we're in the final. Always good to battle Jack. Sucks when it's like that. It's better when it's a clean battle and go hard, but yeah, we're in the final. The plan coming here was to try, give it one last shot and go to Poland.
Heading into the final, obviously the championship fight is alive for you. Have you any thoughts, or are you just going to put it all out on the line and try and clear your head?
I'll look at the points tonight and I'll tell you if it's something is possible in Poland or not. But yeah, Peter's doing a good job as well. He's going to be up there. He's probably going to take the lead, I would say. So yeah, it'll be tight racing. But you know, I didn't come here this weekend to think about a championship. I got to be realistic. I'm sitting top 5 in both of the biggest championships in the world, and it's a pleasure to have won this championship 2 times, and I wouldn't feel this pressure if I hadn't done that. So I got to be proud of myself and everybody around me.
Absolutely, Connor. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Well, there we go. And I had a brief chat there with the judges while we had that interview with Connor Shanahan, Jacob, and David Callas saying Jack Shanahan came in understeered, couldn't slow that car down. It was nothing that Connor was doing. He said, you take a look back, yeah, he may have braked a little bit. He said, but it was the same run he was doing in qualifying.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of what he called out there too. He wanted to lay down the exact same run he did in qualifying. So.
Yeah, and Connor backed it up with what he said in that interview. So.
That's what we said. They would tell us.
And they did.
They would tell us.
David told me, and then Connor told everyone.
If Connor made a mistake, he would be the first one to go, no, I don't deserve this. Yeah. This is what happened. But moving on, as Connor is to now Piotr Vincek against the young Frenchman in the top 4. This is going to be a big one. Could Jason Benet play spoiler to Piotr Vincek's championship push in 2026?
Well, look, Connor Shanahan just spoke about it. He said Vincek's doing a good job this evening. He's going to be way up there as well in the points. He said he could be leading it going into Poland, and we all know that Vincek would love that, to go to Poland leading the championship after, you know, a good year. Some mistakes, some not going his way, and others going his way. Tonight could be the night where it really does go his way, and he could get the dream of once again leading the championship going into Poland. Jason Benet, look at this. This man is absolutely ecstatic right now.
Ah, agreed.
He's got tears in his eyes.
He's elated.
Already.
Yeah. No, this is big, and I did get word that if Piotr Vincek wins this battle, he will take the lead for right now into the final round. But he's got to go through a steely Jason Benet first.
Certainly has. Well, here we go. Vincek from Poland leads out. Jason Benet from France. That A90 Supra up and gone, but Jason Benet won't let the Polishman get too far away as Vincek puts that car right where it needs to be, deep in those zones. But look at this from Benet, hunts him down. Oh, tags the wall. Big mistake from Jason Benet as he has to back out of it. The back of that car hanging off, and Benet now finds himself in the middle of nowhere and lets the Polishman get away.
Ah, Benet, this is it. Welcome to the big leagues, kid. This is what it's like, and this is what the driving is like when you get to that Final Four. It's fast, it's aggressive, and Benet, he did such a good job of hanging with Piotr, but unfortunately Piotr is going to drive at a level at this point in time in the night with the championship just beyond his reach right now. He's going to drive with a gusto that is just unmatched by almost anybody else, and Benet tried to hang with him into 5 and unfortunately just went a touch deep, and that is what ended up causing him to grab a whole bunch of wall and decided to lose a lot of ground.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get lost in the smoke from Wieniec.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you're too far into the wall. And Jason Benet down there chatting to our start line. I can hear laughing from Jason Benet. And I don't know. Hopefully, it looks like he's ready to go. It looks like they've just removed the tailgate off the car. I maybe thought he was on fire. Oh no! And we're seeing a shot, picture in picture. It debeaded the tyre on the wall. Jason Benet will not be able to take part in the second half of the run. Contact with the wall. Oh, and we're going to get that shot live once again, and we're going to see Jason Benet there, that car on track with a debeaded tyre. And we don't do 5-minute rules here at Driftmasters. There you go, Jason Benet will leave the track. And what an unfortunate way for Jason Benet's first ever time in the Final Four, first ever Frenchman in the Final Four here at Driftmasters, and an early exit.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's how things go. He's going to have another shot at a podium against Jack when we get into our playoff a little bit later, but there you go. That is Piotr Wieniec. And once this is crossed, you are going to see your new points leader in the 2026 Driftmasters Championship.
Well, we need to make it official, and the score will drop in from our judges. Obviously, we all know that a debeaded tyre here at Driftmasters is out of competition, and I can see some French fans in the crowd with their head in their hands and saying, it's not the way we wanted to go. And there we go. It's going to be official. Even Wieniec shakes his head. And Wieniec will get the win and advance through to the final to take on Connor Shanahan. And this is a battle that we see time and time again here at Driftmasters.
We have seen it quite a lot, that is for sure.
Well, it's not the end of the weekend for Jason Benet. He gets another shot at the podium. He gets to fight it out with Jack Shanahan. Two very similar machines, two very similar driving styles. That one will be electric for sure, Jacob.
It's going to be nuts. I mean, every battle, we've only got 2 battles left, and each of them is going to bring something absolutely incredible to the table.
It certainly is. It always is incredible. Well, Becky is down there trackside, and she is with Peter Wieniec, who this weekend is having one hell of a weekend.
Peter, not the way you want to win a battle, but one step closer to the podium. What's going through your mind right now?
As you said, I would prefer to have a fair battle, but honestly, fighting for a top spot in here, it's tremendous. Like in practice, I was like barely believing that we will be performing well, and here we are. Unbelievable. Thank you guys for being with me, and sorry for not getting out of the car, but we will be going soon, so fingers crossed, and let's go, guys. Unbelievable.
What would it mean to you to win this final tonight?
No, let's not think about that. Let's not think about it. We need to focus on a battle. And do we know with whom we're going to battle with? Okay,
You have Connor Shanahan.
Let's figure that out. That's okay. Yeah, thank you guys. Let's go. Let's push hard. Let's push hard.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Becky. Yeah, look, he doesn't want to think about it. He's in the car. He's got a big smile on his face. Interesting, the Wieniec saying there he didn't feel like his practice was good enough. There we go, some French and some Irish drivers down there in the crowd making their way all the way over Ireland to support some drifting this weekend here in Ferropolis, and those guys cheering on Peter Wieniec.
Yeah, great to see such a massive international audience here, and so many fans coming from all over the world.
Yeah, well, here we go. Look at this. The lights light up the track. But this is the road to the final for Peter Wieniec, your new championship points leader, as Jacob said earlier on. And Jacob, an incredible drive from Wieniec today here in Germany.
Yeah, and it started off even before this with qualifying, but taking out Harry Kerr just didn't quite come to terms with the car. It wasn't an easy battle at all for Piotr Wieniec, but was able to make it happen and would move on into the top 16, where he would then meet Mika Keski-Korpi, who was absolutely on fire. And I feel like that flame got snuffed out just a bit early. But if you're going to go out to a driver that's making it all the way to the finals, and Yeah, Piotr's just so clean, so technical. He's run basically the same lead line every single lap. It's just continued to evolve every time he's come out. His chase game has gotten good, and no better display of that than when he took on Dwayne McKeever of the Northern Smoke Machine in a battle that bruised both their vehicles, taking off bumpers, throwing sparks everywhere, and just another battle to remember from both of these drivers who have seen competition for years now, and anytime that they go head-to-head, you know sparks are going to fly. Piotr takes that win, and that would then put him on to Jason Benet, who unfortunately gets caught up a little bit in Zone 5 and would cause a D-bead, giving Piotr a bit of an easy win, and now the points lead in the championship, where he will then face Connor Shanahan again for the 15th time.
Oh, wow. Wow, what a number, what a matchup, what a lineup between those two guys. And obviously we have to take a look as well at Connor Shanahan's road to the final. You can see the Irish fans down there, but Connor Shanahan's weekend started off with almost perfection, qualifying first and then taking out Enver Haskasab. Some contact between those two guys, and Shanahan opting for that competition timeout to get that car checked over and getting the win eventually against Enver Haskasab. Unfortunately, the Cypriot driver, or Turkish driver, sorry's end of the weekend, before he then went on to take on in the top 16 Pavel Korpolinski, where Korpolinski would take a bit of a bite out the front of Shanahan's GT86, and Korpolinski was a bit shocked on the decision, but judges saying Shanahan was just rinse and repeat. It was the same lead run time after time, and for Korpolinski, he pushed a little bit too hard. But then after Korpolinski, it was a one more time battle against the one and only Estonian driver Kevin Passer, and Kevin Passer really did push Shanahan, put him on the ropes. He pushed him to the limit, but Shanahan would come up smelling of roses in the end. And these two guys having a lot of fun, and even celebrated the fact that they got a one more time and got to do it again. And Kevin Passer in the end unfortunately would fall foul to Connor Shanahan, where he would then head off to fight it out against his brother Jack Shanahan, where Jack Shanahan would catch a bit of understeer, take a hit into the side of Connor Shanahan's GT86. But two brothers head to head, no messing around, fun battle, and both guys pushing to the limit. It's been an incredible evening, some incredible battles here in Germany, as always, under the lights in the Iron City. But in the final will be Connor Shanahan and Peter Wiensek.
Wow, it's just a story as old as drifting at this point.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, I mean, it's time and time again, wherever we travel around not only Europe but around the world, these guys seem to bump heads in many different countries, and here we are in Germany. But first up, before we get to that final, hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because it's time for the playoff. Well, Jack Shanahan started this weekend saying that his foot was a little bit sore. He couldn't really walk on it. He had it on crutches. He had it in ice buckets. On Thursday morning, he opted not to practice. Friday, he said, I'm going to get back in the car and see how things go. Well, it certainly went well for him, because Jack Shanahan not only qualified fourth, but now finds himself in the third and fourth place playoff against a very on-form Jason Benet, who in previous rounds we've seen that car in more bits than together.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot to play for both drivers. Jack Shanahan still in this fight, wants to grab as many points as he possibly can, throw another podium to his name. And for Jason Benet, it's to get up on that step. It's to feel the champagne and to understand what it is like to be up there with the best of the best. Jason Benet absolutely deserves his spot right now in the playoffs, but if he thought he had a tough time against Piotr Wiensek, Jack Shanahan, injured or not, is going to be a battle of a lifetime.
It certainly is. Well, Jack Shanahan there, the higher qualifier, asking Jason Benet to lead first. So Jason Benet asked a question by the Irishman, you lead first. And you can see there Benet on the radio to his spotter. Probably a good luck, have fun, enjoy yourself in the third and fourth place playoff. Regardless of what happens, you finish fourth this evening here in Germany.
Yeah. I mean, fourth may not be good enough for him, and we'll see how that plays out. Jack getting himself psyched up again, and hopefully not feeling any pain in his right foot, because he will have it absolutely buried into the floor as they now wait for the final inspection from Marcin as the lights start to blink.
Yeah, they certainly do. And you can see there's some deep breaths from Jack Shanahan in that 2JZ powered Toyota GT86. And Jason Benet now ready to lead him out in that 2JZ-powered Subaru BRZ. The lights start to drop and we wait for the green one as Shanahan creeps up off the line. It's Jason Benet now up through the gears as Benet leads him in. Oh, it's no! Breakdown for Jason Benet, and now fails to initiate.
Did we get a restart? Is the first thing I want to look at. I'm not hearing any word.
I wonder if when Jason Benet hit... I think Jason Benet's car's broken. Oh, so we're hearing now potentially clutch problems with Jason Benet's car, and you can hear it. It just hits the rev limiter when he shifts into second and third.
You can see his hand go up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking what you were thinking, that maybe it was an axle.
When he hit the wall, yeah, did he damage a differential, an axle or something like that? No, it looks like maybe the clutch in Jason Benet's car has completely given up.
Oh, man, the timing could not be worse. But this is so much of this, you know, of any event, is just making sure that the car is holding together. And for Jason Benet, this is a big moment for him either way, making it into top 4. Unfortunate turn of events for him.
Yeah, certainly so. Look, he jumps out of the car and he goes over to see Jack Shanahan, and Shanahan would have wanted to do battle with Jason Benet, and Shanahan throws his hands up. Yeah, we can hear Jason Benet there describe what it was. Hits the throttle and nothing, the clutch just spins.
Yeah, that's it too. And I mean, the other part too is going back to back with these battles for Benet. That clutch is still hot. It is not cooled down whatsoever.
No, we make it official. Jack Shanahan will take 3rd place in Germany. The 3rd step on the podium will go to the Irishman, Jack Shanahan. A weekend that he thought may never have happened, but it did happen for him. 4th place in qualifying, 3rd place on the podium. And Jason Benet, I tell you what, although he finished 4th, what a weekend for that young man, and he really did show promise.
Yeah, he 100% did. He may not be on the podium, but man, I would love to see him standing next to it with the rest of us, because he 100% deserves everything that he earned this weekend. It is just unfortunate. He had a real shot at taking down Jack in this battle, but here we are. This is how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, it certainly is, and unfortunately that is drifting. Well, Becky is down there trackside with Jack Shanahan. He won't be getting out of the car for the interview, so expect an in-car interview. But Becky's down there trackside with Jack Shanahan, a man that has been unlucky but lucky.
Congratulations, Jack. Obviously not the way you wanted to win that battle, but it must be great to know that you're going to stand on the podium this evening. Well, try anyway.
To be honest, the biggest challenge of my weekend so far is probably going to be trying to get onto the podium because I can't really walk. So, yeah, no, coming here this weekend, I was not expecting anything. I came here, I still can't really walk, and I'm in quite a lot of pain, but the adrenaline is doing its job, which is sweet. So, yeah, no, it's good. From last Sunday to absolutely wrecking myself to back on the podium, I'll take it all day long. So, not how I want to win. I really wanted to have a good, fair battle with Jason. We had a messed up battle in Finland also, so this guy's a really good talent. He's really, really good, and he just needs a bit of luck, I think. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a battle with him in the future, but we're in a good place now going to Poland. At least we get to finish the year strong, and that's kind of all I'm aiming for.
That was going to be my next question. Going into Poland, you going in there on a high, the points are moving forwards. Any thoughts ahead of that event?
I just want to go and have as much fun as I can, to be honest. Yeah, it's just been a busy year, and Drift Masters didn't really go to plan. I've had some bad luck and obviously some good luck with the win. So just want to finish as strong as I can. I've never had a good result in Poland, so I want to really try to put it on the podium there as well. Obviously, it's one of the biggest events in the world, and just to have your name carved into history there will make it even sweeter, you know?
Absolutely, Jack. Congratulations on the place, and rest up.
Well, there we go. Yeah, I mean, look, it wasn't the battle that they would have hoped for in Finland, and once again, Jack Shanahan denied the opportunity to really throw it down against Jason Benet, but I'm sure we will see that matchup. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for all weekend. It's time for the final. And well, the story is that Peter Więcek, the Polishman, is now the leader of the Drift Masters 2026 Championship. As we look at the points, Jacob, you've done the maths, you spoke to the nerds behind the scenes, they know exactly how this one sits. And now Peter Więcek feels more pressure than he did before.
Yeah, 100%, and it's heavy as the head that wears the crown, and that has been passed from one Polishman to another. unwillingly, unfortunately, for Paweł Korpelinski. Connor Shanahan, he's got an opportunity right now to take another bite out of the points lead as everything comes down to this.
It certainly does all come down to this. Shanahan asks the question to Wiensek, you lead first, let's see what you've got. As they fire in, two champions go head-to-head in Germany once again, as Wiensek puts that car right where it needs to be. Shanahan makes a dive into outside zone 4, as Wiensek flicks that A90 Super into outside zone 5. Shanahan goes for the door, he matches the angle and the pace, as Wiensek puts that car right where it needs to be, and it opens the door for Shanahan once again, as Shanahan jumps up to the door of the Supra. They go to the wall and across the line.
It's what we knew was going to happen. It's going to be an insane battle from both of them. They leave everything out there. Nobody is holding anything back. The best that drifting has to offer on display right now in Germany. Man, it's just an incredible night to get to watch this. Take a look. Piotr Wiensek, good initiation there, starts to wind on that angle. Connor's already thinking, I gotta get closer. I have to close this gap. I cannot let Piotr Wiensek gain even the smallest lead over me. And you can see that here as Connor is really trying to feed that car, feed the wheel, find the correct spot into the side of the Polishman. Piotr, business as usual. He's running the same line he's run since he basically showed up at this track, and has just continued to lay down amazing lead run after amazing lead run, while Connor Shanahan just keeps trying to push the pace, keeps the transitions tight, and closes the gap anywhere that he can. Look at that. And right here, an amazing dive. I mean, we call him the Shadow for a reason, because anywhere you go, he's going to follow you.
Yeah, he certainly is. Wiensek, though, with that incredible lead run, and Wiensek qualifying in third place, just a few points behind Connor. We knew that the lead was going to be unbelievable. We knew that Shanahan was going to give Wiensek a fight all the way to the end.
Yeah, we got exactly what we asked for in that battle, and the best part is we get to do it again.
Yeah, we get to do it all over again, but this time, your first place qualifier, your defending champion, has to lead out the Polishman, Peter Wiensek, and you can see him down there, those orange headlights on the A90 Supra shining bright. Marcin, our start line marshal, gives them the thumbs up. The lights start to fall. We wait for the green one for Shanahan to lead them out. It's green, it's go, it's through the gears as Wiensek now waits for the initiation. Shanahan fires down into outside zone 2 and a little separation, but Wiensek closes the gap instantly as he now jumps onto the side of the GT86 through the smoke. They fire into outside zone 5. Wiensek doesn't make sense on the transition, but he's glued to the side of Shanahan. They look for transition into 6, and it works once again. Wiensek goes deeper into that zone, and he's on the door across the line.
Incredible from both drivers. Piotr doing his homework, understanding the spot that every driver has struggled when it comes to chasing Connor Shanahan, and that is him going deep between 2 and 3, just hanging that car out there as far as he can. Piotr deliberately leaves a bit of a gap so he can let Connor get settled, and now can close that gap, sacrificing a bit of proximity to gain that right there on the door the entire time. Piotr Wiensek, this is why he is a multiple-time champion. This is why we have multiple-time champions going head-to-head, is because of the caliber of driving we are getting to witness right now. It is smooth, it is precise, it is smart driving from both drivers, and it is incredible.
Yes, unbelievable. Look at these two guys. Look at Wiensek, hunched over, looking out the side of that A90 Supra, waiting for Shanahan. Goes for the handbrake pull, doesn't need it. I'm waiting for the transition. Look at this from Wiensek. It's absolutely beautiful from Wiensek. Full throttle transition from Shanahan opens the door. Did Wiensek make any mistakes in that chase? That is what we're looking for, as he absolutely glues it to the side of that GT86. A little separation there as Shanahan puts it on the wall and across the line.
No notes, man. No notes.
No.
If I can quote our legendary coworker, you know what? Just turn off drifting.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the best it's gonna get.
Yeah, just turn off drifting. I think we've seen enough for this year, but we've still got one more round to go. We've still got one more decision to drop in here in Germany. Who's it going to be as the Polish fans hold up the flag? The Irish fans wave their flag high. The decision starts to drop in. The judge is still discussing it.
This is tense. This is tense. They are nitpicking absolutely everything. They are taking a look at every single section of the track, both lead and chase, to understand how this all came to be. How do these drivers work together like this to try and beat each other? It makes absolutely no sense. This is what the judges are looking at right now.
They're still looking at it now. They're looking. This is the judges' view. They're looking at every single inch of tarmac here in Ferropolis in Germany. They're trying to assess who the winner is, who chased better, who led better.
Yeah, I think they're trying to take into account everything. The left foot brakes, any corrections, every small adjustment, all of it is weighted heavily on the shoulders of these Titans.
Well, here we go. Decisions in. Slide him left for Shanahan, right for Wiensek. It's going to be Peter Wiensek. Peter Wiensek gets the win in Germany. Your new points leader takes one more step forward, and look what it means for Wiensek. As the pyro erupts, the Polishman celebrates, and we go to Poland with a different Polish championship points leader. But the fight, ladies and gentlemen, is well and truly on, because the Shanahans aren't messing around this season.
Wow, just wow. I can't even imagine what this is leading up to now. We have two Polishmen going head-to-head. Connor's still in this battle. It is absolutely wild. What a night.
What a night in Germany. Once again, Ferropolis in Germany delivers an unbelievable round of Drift Masters in 2026 that we've seen many, many years before. Now the Polish fans are awoken. Becky Evans is down trackside with our new championship points leader and the winner of round 6 of Drift Masters 2026. Becky, how is he feeling?
Congratulations, Peter. You are the winner of round 6 of the Drift Masters Championship. That is the result you wanted and needed. You're now the current points leader going into the final round. Can you tell us what you're thinking?
Guys, thank you very much for cheering me on. Thank you for being here. It's amazing to do it with you. So, oh my God, I'm delighted. It's excellent. Big thanks to all my team once again. All the sponsors, all my family who've been here, and all the fans. So thank you guys very much for cheering me up here and in front of TV. It's amazing. Big congratulations to Connor also. It's a pleasure to meet him in a final, and I still cannot believe that we're actually on the top spot. It's unbelievable. To be honest, my neck still is in pain after the crash from Thursday, and today the car is driving perfectly, and I'm speechless. So I'm delighted. It's superb. I don't know so many words in English. So thank you once again to everyone. We got it. Woo!
Peter, what can we expect from you for the final coming up in just a few short weeks away?
Exactly. It's in a few weeks, and it's a big round, especially for me, because it's in a hometown. Exactly. So to be honest, let's just enjoy the moment. I will definitely do our best to prepare for the final, but today we are just enjoying the night.
Congratulations, Peter. You are a winner of round 6. Go celebrate. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Becky. Yeah, what a night for Wiensek, and again, a Polishman leading the points heading into Poland. You can see what it means to them, and expect those scenes when we head to the PGA Narodow in just a few weeks' time to round out the 2026 Drift Masters Championship. Incredible scenes. Connor Shanahan so close to it. And this is how the points that were gained over this weekend here in Germany. Wiensek takes home 106 points. Connor Shanahan takes home 96, and Jack Shanahan takes away 81. More importantly, Jason Benet takes home 64.
Yeah, that's going to be big. That's going to be big for him, and well deserved to see a few more drivers picking up points. Dwayne McKeever still in contention for the top 3 over the season, so good to see James Dean grabbing a few more. He'll be in that contention as well. And Paul Korpelinski, 13th. Yeah, 32 points. Not what he needed.
No, not what he needed this weekend. Well, we're going to take a look at our championship standings in a few seconds' time of how it now looks, where Korpelinski sits, where the Shanahans now sit in the points, and how things are looking heading into that all-important final round as Wiensek out on circuit celebrates in front of the Polish fans, doing some big donuts and rolling burnouts, finishing off the rest of those tyres on the back of that 2JZ powered A90 Supra.
Still need that.
Yeah, still need that. Well, here we go. This is how the championship standings look right now. Wieniec is leading the championship with 436 points, but Paweł Korpolinski is still in the mix. But look at Connor Shanahan up there, breathing down the neck of the Polishman.
Yeah, he thought he was giving up on this season so early on, but that is not the case. Paweł Korpolinski still well within play. This is the time to buck up. This is the time to put your head down and get back to work. As Piotr Wieniec sits on top, James Dean 4th, Jack Shanahan in 5th, Connor Falvey 6th, Dwayne McKeever 7th, Oliver Randalou now in 8th.
Yeah, so Jack Shanahan now being made official to us that Jack Shanahan cannot be the 2026 Drift Masters Championship champion. So it will be down to the top 4. Dean, Connor Shanahan, Paweł Korpolinski and Peter Wieniec will be in the fight in Poland in just a few weeks' time at the PGA Narodowy. Let's take a look at that calendar to refresh your minds of where we've been and where we're going. The final round, you can see the winners, and we updated that right here. Ferropolis, Germany. Wieniec gets the win. Round 7, September the 11th and 12th at Warsaw in Poland at the PGA Narodowy in that custom-built stadium in front of 55,000 people. We will once again crown our champion, and this is what it looks like, Jacob. If you haven't got your tickets, now is the time to get them.
It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Book a flight, book a hotel, make it out to one of the most incredible spectacles in motorsport, period. As we have some amazing things in store for you that we're not even allowed to talk about yet.
No, we're certainly not allowed to talk to them. That Red Bull Drift Masters finale always delivers, and last year in Poland, in front of the pyro, in front of those fans, we crowned Connor Shanahan our 2025 Drift Masters champion. Could he do it again? That's the big question. Or will one of the other 4 drivers manage to step up and make it happen? Will a Polishman win in Poland?
Oh, man, I'm already excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for round 6 of Drift Masters 2026 here in Ferropolis in Germany. We thank you for Ferropolis for having us back once again. The Iron City delivers an incredible round of Drift Masters. From me, from Jacob, from Becky Evans down there on the ground, from everybody here at Red Bull, we'll see you in a few weeks at the final of Drift Masters in Warsaw. It's goodbye.